And y'all.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the R.A.U.L.I show. I got a special guest with me, Mr. J over here, brother J. How you feeling tonight, man?
Good, man. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. He does Reckless TV. I said that right?
Reckless Talk Podcast.
Reckless Talk Podcast. I'm already messing up. Reckless Talk Podcast. Dope show. He was just talking about a show. I don't know if y'all too familiar with the fraternities, but you said a white dude pledged alpha.
Yeah, see, I was I want to say my third episode I did about 5 months ago. The story of Chad Tate. You can catch it on YouTube. Reckless Talk Podcast. He's the first white man to pledge alpha in 1991 at the University of South Florida.
I'm gonna check that out myself because that was hard to believe when he said it. Like you talking about Alpha? Alpha is another group, Alpha Male or something like that. So that was cool. So y'all check out his podcast. And you said you also do restaurants.
Yeah, so I got a segment called Reckless Reviews. I go to restaurants, I interview owners and do live food reviews.
Cool. He said he had some good vegan food when I was talking to him earlier.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. I'm gonna try it. You told me it was good. I'm gonna give it a try.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna Malk. How you doing, man? Malk doing a food review right now.
You caught me with my mind open, man. Not full of food in y'all, man. Hey, man, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Just trying to get to another day. I didn't eat all day, man. So
that's not
I
good.
went and got me a carrot.
Got you, old Bugs Bunny, huh?
Yeah, you don't know about Bugs Bunny, man.
Yeah, What's up, Doc?
Went and got me a carrot. Daddy always said it was good for my eyes.
Yep.
And then baby cooked last night, so
that look good right there.
I don't need no Whataburger.
Smell good too.
Yeah.
Smell real good.
Yeah, it smells good. I don't need no McDonald's, Whataburger. I don't need none of that.
Oh, I dig it.
I'm gonna save some money and eat good.
I'm gonna let y'all know Malk is selfish. He didn't offer anybody any, so we'll get on to that. And then my little man right here, he said he gonna join me. Is that right? Is that it? All right, that's it. So what we're gonna do is real quick. I'm gonna do a recap of what we talked about last week. Then we're gonna talk about phase 1 real quick. And then before we get to the main event, I'm gonna talk about Lansing, Michigan, and Melly Mel. And Jay's gonna bless me with his presence tonight, and we're gonna chop it up. I'm gonna get his thoughts, his views, his feelings on everything. You down with that?
Let's do it, man.
All right, I dig it.
Let's do it.
Last week we talked about domestic violence, preventing and escaping domestic violence. So if you missed it, I'm gonna do the rundown. Yeah, I don't agree with it either. That's what I said. If you missed it, some of the strong points we had, or some of the main points I want to get out there, is one of the ways to prevent that is it starts in the home. We talked about that, so when you hit your kids and they get older, they might think it's okay for somebody to hit them. You see what I'm saying? Or if you talk down to your kids and be like, man, you an idiot, they might think it's okay for somebody else to tell them that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for men and women. I know the popular thing is to talk about women, but a lot of men get dogged too. And I'm not saying not some of them might be. If a woman hits you, you're not quick to knock them out. You're gonna be like, all right, man, all right, let me just chill. Now it's different if I hit you. It's a TKO. You know what I'm saying? We ain't here boxing.
Yeah.
But when the sister hits you, you're like, okay, you knock one of my teeth out, but let me walk away. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it could happen to men and women. Oh, you want mommy now? Okay. All right. My bad. Get the door. Good job. So there you go.
All right.
You're not gonna close it. Oh, appreciate you, Jay. So we were talking about that, and one of the things we say is it starts in the home, man. Like we gotta bred our kids to not accept no disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We can't. What we do to them is what they're gonna let somebody else do to them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing we said. And respect. We got to have respect for ourselves. So if we don't respect ourselves, anybody gonna come through here and disrespect us. So that's another thing I said. So women and men, before you enter relationships, I had a show on this about 3 shows back on relationships. One of the main things I said was respect yourself, love yourself. Because if you don't do that, any relationship you get in, whether it be a work relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, man, wife, homeboy, homegirl relationship, they could, the potential is high for them to run all over.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So them the two things I want to push, and always pay attention to the red flags, man. If you guys are arguing when you first meet or in the first few months, talk it out and see why you arguing, if it's worth it, or depart. Because maybe you're better off just as friends.
Yeah.
And that go for a partner too. If you got a homeboy who's consistently arguing with you for no reason, hey, how you doing today? Man, don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Let me take a step back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to those red flags when they pop up, man. Grab them and put them outside the window, man. You know.
The problem is people like red flags these days. That's the problem. That's the problem. You also touched on. You said if we hit our kids or we do something to our kids, they're gonna grow up and allow other people to do it. Man, the other side of it, man, they're gonna grow up and start doing it to other people. You know what I mean? And then now we talking about jail time, and you know what I mean, like to turn into a bully and domestic violence, and so it can go either way. You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
That's
true.
lot.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because you know, if you grow up hitting your boy or girl, and they grow up and hit somebody else, because they think, hey, I'm just letting you know what it is. That's how a lot of the street culture kind of got street.
Yeah.
A lot of brothers don't know how to express themselves verbally or emotionally. So we feel disrespected. The first thing some of us go to is fists. We're like, oh man, you said what?
I'm the perfect example. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm doing a lot better as I got older. As I'm getting wiser. But I was that dude. You know what I mean? You looked at me funny, I wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Let alone disrespect me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said, as I got older and wiser, it's like I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm in a dead or in jail. You know what I mean? So
true.
Yeah.
True. True.
I talk about this all the time. There's two things I talk about. The road rage thing. I'm not a road rager.
Yeah.
I'm not a road rager. But if you pull up alongside me and you Billy Badass over there in your car, I'm gonna tell you to pull over. But here in the last 2 or 3 years, Lisa's pulled me to the side and been like, babe, one of these times you're gonna do that, you're gonna call somebody out and they're gonna shoot you. So I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, you know what? Because somebody pulled in front of me or I pulled in front of me, my life. So I started chilling on that. Man, you right on, boy. You right up.
Yeah.
You right.
I'm working on that.
You working on that? We see out on that
yes,
too.
Sir.
And point number two is in relation to abuse. You know how most schoolhouses, from elementary to junior high to high school, you know how parents will say, the little girl will come home, this guy named Bobby always picking on me, and the parents quick to say, that means he like you. That's a form of abuse. You picking on her, you throwing gum in her hair, you tripping her, you making her fall to get her attention, and the parents gonna say, oh, he just likes you. That's you teaching your child that abuse is okay because the man likes you.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Stop saying that. Parents, this is the you. Stop saying that to your kids that little Bobby likes little Sue. Because you're teaching your child abuse. It's fine. That's what you do.
Yep.
100%. No, I dig it. That's a real as it gets right there. Yeah, if your kids come home saying somebody picking on them, don't be that one that says, yes, that's cool. He has a crush on you or something like no, he wants to crush you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to protect yourself. Matter of fact, let me come up to the school and check a few things. You know, that's a whole nother topic. We do got to start protecting our kids in school, but we'll get on that another day. But he right. It starts in the home, man. Everything everybody just said was in the home. If our kids see us in road rage, then they're gonna end up being rageful on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my daddy do it. This is how I'm gonna handle it. And like you said, if you hitting the kids, it's both ways. They might grow up hitting, or they might grow up getting hit.
Yep.
Either outcome is not something you want. You see what I'm saying? And then pay attention to them red flags. As much as we think them red flags is healthy, it's a sickness.
Yeah,
it's a disease, you know. So, man, don't spend your life arguing and fighting all the time. Because if you can't go to your significant other and have a breath of fresh air,
Be at peace.
Be at peace, be
Yeah.
yourself,
Mhm.
then don't go there. And that's anywhere, man. That's work. That's your partner. If you always got to go around your partner and you like, okay, I got to deal with this Negro today. Separate. There come a time when you got to separate yourself from getting abused.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talked about that too. Real quick, brothers got to hold brothers accountable and sisters got to hold sisters accountable. And vice versa.
Yep.
Sisters got to hold brothers accountable and brothers got to hold sisters accountable. Because if a sister getting beat up, it's our job to go over there and handle that.
Yeah.
But it's the sister's job to go over there and be like, don't go back to her.
Exactly.
I'm not sending my man over here to handle up for you.
For you to go right back.
Exactly. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it take a village, man.
Yeah.
It take a village. So I don't mind going to handle up if someone's being a coward. Most likely, I won't even have to put my hands on you. I give you a quick open hand and tell you walk your way out, please. I'm not trying to do all that extra stuff, you know. And if we do that, it'll happen a lot less.
Yeah. Because
brothers will know the consequence. Like, ooh, I heard so and so was hitting his gal. Brother Jay and Zula went over there and his eye was damn near coming out the socket, and I don't know if I want that outcome, you know. So I think if we handle up in our own communities, man, it'll be a lot less problem. We can change. The generation can change. You won't have the same problems every single generation.
It's about united, man. Let's look at what happened in Alabama. You know what I mean? On the docks. Look how everybody came together and united. You know what I mean? Little 6-year-old kid jumped off the boat and swam over there. You know what I mean? And I think that's amazing. We need more of that. But we need more of that on big issues in the world. On serious issues in the world.
True.
You know what I mean? Let's take the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Where's everybody that was down for that movement? Where everybody at now? You don't hear nothing about it no more.
Nah.
It's like once the cause of the movement is silenced, everyone goes about their way and forget about everything else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if you continue to stick together and unite, we are unstoppable.
Man.
Unstoppable.
Man. That's true. That's what the show is about. And that's true. That we not just over a fight, but if somebody's getting locked up for nonsense. There's a scene in Malcolm that I always like, man. Malcolm X with Denzel ripped that role, by the way. Where Malcolm was like, if this brother comes out harmed, brother so-and-so got over 500 brothers. And he pointed out the window and the whole street was lined up. And then when he walked outside, he said, all right, y'all, let's go. Pointed his finger and everybody walked. If we did that on a consistent basis, I'm not saying marching. I'm just saying regular smack.
United, yeah.
Just uniting.
Yeah.
If people just saw brothers like we on here just chopping it up. And we going out here chopping it up. They just, man, they really getting along. Like, y'all related? It's love.
Facts.
Your wife and my wife, they just chopping it up. Like, man, if they see that more often, it's gonna be less likely that they test us. Like, nah, that's everybody over there like family.
Exactly.
You mess with one.
Man, unity is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful, and it's man, what? It's a beautiful thing, man.
When it happens, man, it'll be things will change. They say stuff can happen overnight. The minute it ain't got to be everybody. The minute a few of us unite, a few of us is like, you know what, man, I'm tired of it. Well, that's what RA.U.L.I is about. Getting those few who actually want to do it. You know what I'm saying? The minute a few of us unite, that's a wrap.
Yo, big shout out to the police officers that let it happen.
Man,
big shout outs to that.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think
until
about
that chair got involved. They would just let
They were like, I'm just gonna sit back and watch.
They were like, we're waiting for this. You know, when WWE.
Yeah, I mean, he did that dude. Whoosh. Cop just stood by. God no.
Them chairs are skyrocketing the price of that Walmart. Them chairs went from $7.99 to $14.95. Overnight.
Shoot. Yeah, bitch out to the cops who did. Like, all right, he might get murdered. Let's step in now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's dope, man. Alabama, I'm talking about that too, man. I like how everybody united, man.
Yeah.
I would like it on the bigger spectrum, on the more spiritual, on the more economic spectrum. But it got to start somewhere.
More consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consistent and persistent, man. Like, and we just continuously doing this out of love and genuine basis. We'll be hard to deal with. We're gonna have to do a show on that alone.
Yeah. Definitely.
That goes into real quick. Phase 1 of the building, as I've been telling y'all on the show where I explained everything. I'm starting up the groups where the men, the women, and the kids are getting together. And one of the first things I believe we got to do is conversate.
Mhm.
We got to talk about it. Let everybody know where they're coming from. What do you want? Because we ain't got to agree, but we got to respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
We don't got to say, hey, man, I want to run to the finish line. Like, man, we just do a light jog. And the brother will be like, man, we can walk fast. But if I always want to get to the finish line, we got that same vision.
Yeah. Just with a different outlook.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that's phase one, man. I'm trying to get everybody together, start conversating. Like I said, I'm about to start having events here to not only conversate, raise money, and start teaching. Anybody, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. For example, mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody knows how to fix a car, we get some of these young brothers and sisters. He going to teach them. I mean, something simple as changing the tire, changing the oil.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do that. How many young men don't know how to do that.
Tire go flat. Like, oh, what do I do? It's like, oh, you just playing. Come help me do this, man. Chill out.
So, hey, baby, can you change this tire?
Man, oh, don't get me started on that. The woman out here, young, yeah. Like, and he just sitting
in heels.
Yeah. You know, that has to stop, y'all. It's good that I'm not saying women is weak. That's what make our women strong, because we can handle something when we drop the ball.
Uh-huh.
But ain't no reason your woman, your mama, your sister, your gal, your wife, your mistress, I don't care who she is to you, should be changing no damn tire on the side of the road.
If you in the car with her, man,
you know what I'm saying? That ain't. And then you get mad when a brother come up and say, "Hey, you need some help?" And you be like, "No,
you hitting on my girl, you hitting on my lady." Yeah.
So I want to empower the brothers, man, to when that does happen, so it doesn't have to happen.
Yeah.
And this is just one thing, mechanics. So I want them to teach some of these young boys how to change the tire. The women too, but I need the brothers to take their place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and hey, here goes change the tire. Here goes how to change the oil. I know a lot of these cars now are electric, but if we learn how the engine works, we won't need to purchase their electric cars. You see what I'm saying? We'll keep the ones we got fixed up.
Yeah.
You know, so gardening, the law. I think they should teach you about law in school. So any lawyers / attorneys, if what does the brother say? We need more unity around the world, mental health awareness and recognition to help assist others' struggles. Yeah, definitely. We need that. We really do need that. We need to assist ourselves so we can assist others. And because you can't really help nobody until you help yourself.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how to have a stable mind if I'm never sober-minded. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with that. Chris, Spice Night. You need to be a DJ, man. DJ Spice Night. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But that's truth right there. Mental awareness, man. A lot of brothers and sisters got a lot going on. Especially for brothers, we don't want to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we say, and I'm guilty of this, I'm good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Same here. I look at it like, even though I'm not good, who cares? Who really cares about me not being good? And if I tell you ask me how I'm doing, if I say not good, suck it up,
man.
Or we had this conversation last night on the Kicking It Live with Lady Cassandra show. Or they say I'm gonna pray for you.
Oh man,
that don't do nothing.
That don't
do nothing. Faith without works is dead. Right?
Exactly.
Why you gonna pray for me? Help me.
Yeah.
Help me.
Mm-hmm.
I understand praying is a good thing. Thank you for the prayer. But I get so tired of hearing that.
Man.
I'm at the lowest of the low right now. You can tell them your worst story, and all they got to tell you is,
I'm gonna pray
for you, brother.
Man, I just got robbed, clocked in the back of the head, lost my house, and my car got stolen. You know what, brother? Come here, let's pray. Let's pray. I need a ride to work.
I need a place to stay
tonight.
For
real. I need a pillow tonight. You know what I'm saying? Them prayers ain't gonna roll out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm go ahead, Malcolm. What you gonna say?
One quick thing, and I'll get off the microphone. Chris, Spice Night, let us know where you tuned in tonight. This is the R.A.U.L.I show, the rebooting and uniting lost energy show, live on Real Talk 100 Radio. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know where you tuned in from and how you found us tonight. Put it in the comments. We thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, I dig it, man. Let us know what's up, because your words are very truthful.
Yeah, for real.
And anybody who's listening, man, I appreciate that. And people got to appreciate when somebody responds that means they give you your energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care. Money ain't the only way that you should be thankful. The brother sitting over here giving us his ear, his mind. So I appreciate that, man. That's with anybody. You know what I'm saying? For you to even want to come on the show, that's dope.
I appreciate you having me, man.
You know what I'm saying? Both ways, then. Both ways. You know what I'm saying? Because you're out of his show. I ain't never heard of that. You man, got anybody else I can get on? You know what I'm saying?
It's about everybody growing, man. We all got some great ideas, networking wise, everything, man. So why not all come together and let's make it work?
For real.
You know what I mean? Like, for real.
Being the definition of what we say we need to be. I always say this, man. We go around calling each other brother, king, God, Lord, Jesus, all this stuff. But we're not acting like that.
Treat each other like strangers.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just do it because we heard a good speech. You know, like, oh man, the brother said, you know what? I'm gonna start calling people king, but we ain't got no kingdom.
Yeah.
No queendom. We ain't got no heaven or no hell. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always just say brother. I say brother for right now. Now, when I get my kingdom, and I want you to be a part of it, all right, Esquire, all right, king.
Yeah.
Here go your palace. Here go my palace. You know, then we can start getting that. But for right now, whatever's within my means, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
You know, especially if I feel like you're gonna appreciate it. And I don't mean just paying me. I mean just genuinely be like, man, I appreciate the help. That's all I need. That gives me the juice right there. Yo, nobody else helped me. I'm glad you helped. Or this other brother was helping me, but you came with him and y'all both helped me, and I appreciate that. That should be all we need, to be honest.
And you know what the problem is? So I'm gonna use it for example. My personal thing that happened. I started this podcast journey just over 5 months ago, and I had to let go of someone I considered a brother for 20 plus years. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, our journey isn't for everyone. You know what I mean? So it's like you might want that help. You might look for appreciation just because you need appreciation sometimes. You need to feel appreciated. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, those colors are gonna show, no matter if it's after 6 months, 10 years, 20 years, like for me. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to see you, and some people don't want to see that happiness. What's appreciation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. If we say we're good and don't have to express when we're truly dealing with, people don't really care to listen. Sometimes people just want to. That's true, man. Sometimes brothers want to lend an ear.
Yeah.
And you saying, you know what? I feel that, man. I went through that same thing. You like, oh, for real? Let me get on it.
Yeah.
Let me get on it. That's true. That's true, man. We that is so easy to be a lending ear. You give your time to the Instagrams, to the YouTubes, to porn, to binge watching, to whatever it is to roll it. You know how long it takes to roll one up? I ain't saying take a super, but you know how much you got to break it down with whatever you have a backwood or you give time to this, but somebody could potentially feel better from you just being like, all right.
Give them that 2 minutes. Someone you can call a brother or a friend or family. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's true, man.
Another thing, a lot of people ask questions, how are you feeling? A lot of people don't care how you feel. That's more of a, let me be nosy. Let me be nosy. And the minute, let's say we do tell them, we decide, all right, we're going to tell them how we feeling. They're gonna go ahead and flip it and put them in whatever situation you in. They're going to tell a story how they was in that situation before and make the story about them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Man, what?
Yo,
man.
I hate that. That's happened to me several times. It was like, man. And sometimes I'll do that, but just to let you know, and I won't even make it a long story. Like you say, hey, man, I need to play state, man. I need to play state too, and I did this. So I feel where you're coming from. I'm not judging you. What's up?
Yeah.
You know, what could I, but to make it be like, well, I needed to play state too back in 92. And and we didn't have the internet. We just like, wait.
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, for real. I didn't know this was bringing all this out. Like,
Chris Spice Knight is tuned in all the way from Washington State.
Ooh,
man, that's what's up.
I dig it.
And she's been tuning in a while, secretively. Don't be secret no more. We like your comments. Thank you for tuning in, Chris Spice Knight. But that was her next comment right there.
Even if we share a good, hey, that's true.
Man,
that's true. The OG, man, look, OGs, my dad, they used to tell me some stuff all the time. And as a child, you say, hey, David, that girl ain't good for you. I'm like, Dad, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You old man. Then she do something. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I should listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's another thing. And that's what everybody. I don't care what race you is. Especially growing up as a kid or a young adult, your parents tell you something, you got to hear from the next person
Huh.
to believe it. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. That's true. Sometimes you do got to hear it from somebody else for it to become official or certified.
Mhm.
You know, like, oh well, he said it. Or sometimes you just got to step off that mountain, and when you fall, you be like, oh, I should have listened. My bad. You know what I'm saying?
Got that echo as you fall.
Yeah. Bye, bye, bye. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. But you know what? We got to evolve that, man. So any youngsters out here listening, I'm young myself. I'm not claiming to be a triple OG or nothing, but I've learned in my time, my maturity, it's not even about age, the age I'm in my life, that when people say things, I take heed. Because if I say something and it makes you respond, you've either been through it, been around it, or in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you telling me something that could potentially help me from starting a fire that I'm gonna have to put out.
Yeah.
So anybody listening to that, man, if someone tells you something, it's like dominoes. You know, all wisdom ain't good wisdom. Like you said earlier, some people are just talking to hear they self-talk.
Yep.
Make themselves, you know, I don't know, tell you this.
Back in 1902.
Yeah. I did this. I'm smarter than you now. It's like, nah, man.
40 years ago.
I have a dream. You know?
Don't nobody care about that. I'm having a problem.
Yeah.
Shut up, listen. Well, who was that said? Shut up already. Damn. Who was that?
Who was I forgot who said that.
Shut up already. I think it was in a song.
I can't even think of that right now.
Nah,
It's gonna come to you in about 15 minutes. Watch, man.
Or as soon as the show ends.
Yeah, one of the two. Right when we leave it. The name of the song was, I'm like, oh man. You know what I'm saying? So that's true, man. Lending ears, listen to people, man. If somebody's giving you genuine advice, which 9 times out of 10, you can feel it in your body when they say something. It's like, oh, it'll damn near make you cry. You gotta hold the tears back. Be like, oh, this is resonating too good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you could definitely. My bad.
No, go ahead.
You can definitely tell when it's genuine or not. You know what I mean? Especially like with me personally. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in the streets. I've been messed over so many times on business aspect, street aspect, and so I be wary of what people got to say. You know what I mean? So when you grew up how I grew up and lived the lifestyle I used to live, it's like you know when someone's being genuine and not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. I wasn't no street dude, man. A lot of my friends, well, I got a different view on that. So I've seen cats go from, I know you've seen this. I've seen cats that you've known since elementary, right? And y'all chilling, playing cops and robbers, hide and go get it, and all this other stuff, right? And then 8th grade hit, 7th grade hit, 6th grade hit, whatever, and their eyes change, and their attitudes change.
They some street gangsters out of nowhere over the summer. They some
And it's like, yo, that hurt my feelings, because I can't hang around you no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can hang, well, I can't hang around, but I can't be in your space like that. Because even your attitude towards me
is different. Yep.
It's like, yo, man, what the fuck you talking about? I'm like, whoa. We were just talking about this about an hour ago. What happened?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's that street mentality that takes over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny you said that. You said I can't hang out with you no more. You know what I mean? I can still be affiliated with you, but I can't be around you in that circle. Can't be, because the life you live in and the path I'm taking is 2 totally different ones. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be on the block with you. Something goes down and my life is over.
Just
you know
like
what I
that.
mean? I thought about this the other night, man, when I was, out doing what I used to do, and it's like everybody want to be my friend and this and that, but it's like my thing is like let's make some business moves. I got the money to do it.
Yeah.
And as I'm older and I'm living the righteous life now, it's like I had to think about it. It's like, yeah, they knew I had the money, but who really wants to be affiliated with someone in the streets when it comes to business?
Man, that's true. That's how I felt. I wanted, you know what? I had some. I hate to say the word gangster, but I knew some real G's, man, and I wanted to gather them to go against these cops, and they had the mentality, but didn't have the mentality. It's like, I know you'll do it, but you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
like I'm saying like this. You have the greatest potential to do it, but your anger and your energy is directed towards the cat over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I need to take over this block, man. I need a couple more. You don't own it, but okay. You know what I'm saying? Like the minute these blue and reds come through here, you're gonna scatter like roaches when the lights come on. You know what I'm saying? Yep. As soon as one of them cuff you up and take you back wherever they take you, 2 or 3 people are going to jail after that. You know what I'm saying? Call a snitching, whatever it is. That's how it normally happens. Somebody get up, they gone for not even a whole day, gone for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Come back, 2 little shotgun houses is shot down. You know what I'm saying? But my point being is, it's hard to work with somebody. And I'm not knocking you or nothing, none of my partners, but it's hard to work with some of y'all because some of that anger had been built up, or it was like I could see that. Like I said, I knew it. It was the attitude in the eyes for me. I saw that childlike mentality just.
You didn't even know him no more.
That's it. It was a whole. You ever seen the movie where the demon take over?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait a minute.
I just turned black.
Yeah. And every time you're around them, the mood is just different. It's like, man, I can't even. You messing up my high. Like I can't even. I'm scared to be around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I told him that I wouldn't know. You can call me soft or whatever. I'm like, yo, man, some of these cats behind me is a little questionable. You know what I'm saying? They're a little nervous for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, that's a whole nother story, man. You got me talking. Yeah, man, it's hard to be around certain people, even if it's not. It's the same way if you come into some money. Some people don't want it because they're doing different things. You know, it might be for different reasons, but they're doing different things, so it's hard to communicate with somebody who's not necessarily, when it comes to money, on your level.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if they were trying to take your money or use you, or if they're really down with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what business too. You know what I mean? If you're super successful and you got somebody that comes to you that's not as successful, they're on the come up, your mentality might think, when you're trying to use me, like you said, use me, or you know what I mean, trying to get over on me to give yourself a name. You know what I mean? And that's where unity comes into play, man. We all need to, man, unite, man. I can't stress that enough.
Man,
I cannot stress that enough, man. Unity is a big, big thing for real.
We the minute we do that, man, we can eliminate a lot of those distrust issues. I've been in a room full of G's, man, women and men, that was just literally straight up with you. Like, I'm not talking about like rude or like, hey, your hair look bad type. Like, hey, why you got such a bad attitude right now? Wait, hold on. I don't even know your name, dude. Like, what's up? No, just your attitude's foul. What's up, man? And to be honest with you, this happened. Well, you gonna let that stop you from doing this? Oh, no, sir. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been around some cats. I'm greatly concerned for my 24 and 25-year-old children. They're very naive, and many in that generation, crazy. They don't have respect for their elders.
Man,
2 things with that. I'm not saying as an elder, but growing up, sometimes, what have we done to earn their respect? You know what I'm saying? Some of these youngsters have a very, very strong case on why they don't respect us.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? They have a very strong case, and I used to be the same way. You're like, man, you know, because some elders would really talk down on me.
Like, talk to me, don't talk at me.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to listening to what you're saying, but when you just straight clowning me and dogging, see you. That's why y'all young idiots don't like. Oh, okay. Why am I an idiot?
And that's the thing. As adults, you don't realize it. Like, just think about this. Go back to that comment they just made. If someone talks to you crazy, yells at you, disrespects you as an adult, how does that make you feel? Now, just imagine, how does that make a child feel? You know what I mean?
That's the same thing. I do this with my daughter, man. She's only 6. I'm a youngster in the game when it comes to these kids. But even with my older nephew, who's only 9, 10, I come down to their level. I tell them, hey, man, you can tell me anything. You're not in trouble. I'm not going to go back and tell your parents unless you're trying to do some crazy stuff like kill yourself. But talk to me. How can I ask them, how can I communicate with you? How can I get across with you? What do I need to do to get across with you? And I admit to them, because I'm doing something wrong because we're not communicating. I feel like if you do that, and it can happen at any age, man. That's a good question, by the way. And like I say, mine's are younger. But even some of these cats I go talk to, like I'm still in my 30s, but I used to go talk to cats that be on the street. Like real, like I say, hey man, why you doing this?
Yeah.
What is this doing? And we would have all the conversations. This is back before the internet and stuff. I'd take them to the library and be like, man, they got books on how to do this. I would show them. So if you're trying to get across to them, sometimes you got to take them somewhere where they can see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted businesses, right? I said, you doing this, right? You kicking indoors, selling this. One of the cats wanted to have their own t-shirt business, right? And another one wanted to do music. And that's back when them doing music for dummies books were popular, right?
Yeah.
I said, here goes a simple book to read. And he read that. One of them started a t-shirt business and the other one started doing music. And I said, own your own stuff. Don't let no one take advantage of it. And then took him back to Acres Home. I said, man, there's more here than Tidwell. You know what I'm saying? Man, Tidwell ain't the only place you can do this.
If you could be in them streets, being a salesman, man, turn that around and run a legit business, get an LLC, you know what I mean, and turn that mentality into a legal hustle, man, for real.
Exactly.
For real.
Exactly, man, because you can do it. You can do it. So I would try that with them, man. 24, 25. I'm highly educated, have a lot of street smarts. I was raised in a gang lifestyle. My family was outlawed by. Oh, snap, that's interesting. I'm gonna talk to you, Mr.
For real though.
Mr. Code Up. Yeah, you got me on the edge right quick. I did not choose the path, but involved myself in a relationship with a hood gangster. Man, use that. You look.
Don't be afraid to tell your story to your kids, man.
There you go.
Man, let me hit this one, please, because this one touched home.
Get
for
it.
I did an episode about what we're talking about right now on my podcast. Big shout out to Gabriel Hennis. I'm the same, like you said, you talk to your kids. You have to talk to your kids, and you can't talk at them. My oldest son, he's 13 years old. We had a situation a few months ago. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I had literally had to sit down and because the alpha male in me, the old street in me wanted to come out and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I knew this is a serious situation. I actually need to sit down and talk to him and ask him what's wrong and generally listen to him. The problem nowadays is especially when we as kids, you do something, your parents come to you and they ask what you do or why you do this. Tell me and you won't get in trouble.
Huh.
And the minute you do, you getting your ass whooped.
Yeah.
You getting grounded. So where's the trust? Where's the trust at?
Yeah.
There's no trust. You know what I mean? So parents, talk to your kids and please listen to them. If you can't talk to your kids, especially about little things, just remember they get older. Like your kids are already in their 20s, you know what I mean? So I'm really speaking to the younger generation. If your kids can't come to you in their teens and preteens, once they reach high school and college, who are they gonna turn to? The streets. The streets. Man, listen to your kids. Listen to what they truly gotta say. Please, man. I can't stress. Please, man. I know growing up in the 90s, for me, a kid didn't have no say. A kid stay in your place. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned a minute ago. What have we done for our kids to respect us? You know what I mean? It goes both ways.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? It goes both ways. Just because you're a kid, go ahead.
Nowadays, in contrast to what you just said, nowadays they used to tell us it's grown folk business. Go to your room. Nowadays they twerking in front of their kids.
Yeah.
Nowadays they doing all the cussing and drinking and smoking weed in front of the kids. So that in relation to what Jay said. That's why a lot of the respect has been lost. I mean, I saw that we talked about it last week, where they even dressing their kids in Daisy Dukes.
Man, it's ridiculous, man. What?
You know,
I got two daughters. What?
You know what I'm saying? I do believe. Would you want to say something else?
No, go ahead.
I think we got to stop treating our kids as equals. I don't say as equals, but
as friends.
As friends,
man.
My child ain't my friend, man. Like she my friend. I love that little girl and I love that little boy to life. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they was in my last life because I just got that fucking, just that man. Yeah. Like, I just love y'all. I tell my wife all the time, they could stab me in the back and I'll take it out. Like, you all right?
You must have tripped. It's okay. You tripped. You didn't mean that.
Let me get this fixed right quick. Is your hand okay? You got blood on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's I'm naive with that. They both established, like, oh, y'all must have tripped over the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So
every day.
Yeah, for real. So it's like we gotta stop treating them as friends, man. And cause we gotta, when you talk to them and when you discipline them, whenever you're doing just whatever you're doing with them, you gotta forget they're gonna be. You gotta remember they're gonna be in your shoes, and they need to be prepared for what it's like to tie up your shoes eventually. And you want to make that walk a little bit, if not a lot more easier for them than what you had.
Yeah.
And
facts, man. Yes.
One thing we got to remember too is, just from talking to you, our kids ain't being raised the same way we were.
You cannot raise your kids the way we were raised back in the 90s.
No.
It's not the 90s no more.
No, it's not. It's not. And I don't even use these same tactics on my child as was used on me.
Yeah.
But we got to remember also, since we're not doing that, we got to apply different tactics. So we can't sit over here and be like, all right, I'm not gonna spank you, whatever, and yell at them and stuff. But we got to use different things to kind of acquiesce and solve the problems.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So just remember that if you're not raising your kids, if you're raising your kids in a different time, you got to use the strategies for that time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the same tools on an electric car as I would a car with an engine.
Yep.
Something just is going to keep happening. You see what I'm saying? So my kids don't listen to me. They're greedy and disrespectful. They only care about my money.
They grown, so just cut them off. Take them out the wheel. That's a problem solved. Take them out the wheel.
Cut them off and show them love. If they don't accept that love, then it's like, y'all, we once again, ask them what you need to do. Like, hey, what do I got to do, man? What did I do wrong these last 24 years? And I'll improve it right now. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to hear that they're greedy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I always look at myself whenever my kids do something. Look at myself. All right, hold on. What I do? What do I need to fix? But like I say, mine ain't even 13 yet.
Yeah.
One of them
young in the game.
Yeah, man. I'm not even a YG. I'm just a Y. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that might work. I'm just telling you from my perspective, what I would have done with my father. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother would have said that to me right now, I would have been like, well, since you asking, the reason why I feel this way is because you did this. That'll open up the gate, the portals.
But all right, so I'm glad you said that. Now, if you was to take his advice, my question to you, Chris, would you be ready for what they actually had to say? That's the question.
Ooh.
Are you ready for that conversation and to hear what they truly got to say to you? And how will you take that in? So it's really a two-way street. You got to be ready to actually hear what they got to say, because you might not like it. You might not like it.
If you give it, you got to receive it. You know, that's not a negative thing. It can help you grow, but you got to make sure you prepare. Like you said, you got to be prepared for what they say.
And I'm not saying you a bad person. Please don't take it like that at all. I'm just saying in general, like that goes back to what I was saying, man. You gotta listen to your kids from young. You know what I mean? Hear them out. They got feelings too. You know what I mean?
She said she cut them off from the wheel. They have to earn my respect. I am learning and using tough love. I missed this comment a little bit earlier, so I'm going to go back for just a second after she said, my kids don't listen to me. They're greedy and disrespectful. They only care about my money. She came back and said, I'm guilty. I spoiled my kids. I spoiled my children. I stayed working hard. I was a nurse working 16-hour days. 16-hour days. Somebody else in the room worked 16-hour days, 7 days a week for way too many years. Excuse me. I wasn't physically around to be there when they wanted me around.
Oh.
And Cecilia Guzman said,
yeah.
My kids ranged from 21 to 9.
Ooh.
And from the time they were able to understand what I was explaining or talking about, my conversation has always been raw and uncut to a certain extent and adjusted accordingly as they grew up.
Huh.
That's a big age gap. You was bored. Man.
You got about 3 generations in there.
Respectfully.
Yeah. No, man, that's powerful though. 21 to 9.
Cecilia, we want to make sure we keep our listening audience in the loop. So Cecilia and Chris Spice, thank y'all for joining in. This is the R.A.U.L.I radio show, the rebooting and uniting lost energy show, starring R.A.U.L.I. Give him a salute, R.A.U.L.I. Let them know who you are. Say, hey.
What's going on? I'm
Hey.
Zulu.
Cecilia says today's parenting is more about friendship than parenting.
Saying that.
Chris Spice says she cut him off already. And last but not least, yes, I had the conversation with them. They resent me not being around in their childhood.
Yeah.
And that's a hard one, man, because as a parent, you want to hope and think, my kids understand why I'm not home. They understand that I want them to understand that I'm always working and why I'm always working, but it's like it don't work that way. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. That sucks. Man, that's gonna be something that probably never goes away until they get older, hopefully. You know what I mean?
Just keep working at it, man. The only way you can go is up. Right now you down. The only way you can go is up, man. But you know what? Like they say in every anonymous class, whether it be alcohol or cocaine or whatever, the first step is to admit it. Hey, I did this. Now where do you go from here?
Yeah.
And hopefully now that you've admitted it, you can kind of like talk to them and y'all can kind of got conversations, man. Cook some food for them. I don't know if you can cook. If not, order some food. Sit down, put a little movie on. Me and my pops love to watch like Beverly Hills. We like the Eddie Murphy movies. Some old little cowboy flicks, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Do whatever y'all like. I know you said you was in a biker gang. Well, don't
join the family business.
But start by opening it up to them. Say, hey man, this is a taste of what I did, to kind of show them that you want them in that energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna change it up real quick because this is some dope combos. NERZ8556. What's your Facebook and Instagram?
Facebook J Reckless and Instagram is Reckless Talk 718.
Okay, I'm sure he the same way as what I'm about to say. If not, tell me to shut up. Hit us up, man. We could talk.
Yeah.
One-on-one to keep this going. You know what I'm saying? Or on the internet, however you want to do it. Cecilia and Chris. So hit us up, or next show we have coming in, we'll chop it up. However it goes, man. But definitely hit us up, and we can do a show on that personally. To get more in depth, or let us know what happened if you took any of the wisdom that was bestowed today and used it. Let us know what happened. Because I'm interested. I want to know. So that NERZ8556 on Instagram, and NERZulu on Facebook, and then one more time for him.
Reckless Talk 718 on Instagram and J Reckless on Facebook. And you can also follow me on YouTube at the Reckless Talk Podcast, THA Reckless Talk Podcast.
There you go. So yeah, let us know, man, because I definitely like to know what happened with that. Phase 1, I'm still doing it. I'm getting some events together. I'm looking for people who got attorneys, mechanics, botanists, masons. I don't care if you work in the studio, do music, rhythm. Rhythm gets our people into some, making some good music, got them thinking differently. I'm gonna get into hip hop here in a minute. If you're a seamstress, if you're an artist, whatever it is, man, if you don't mind lending your skill, let me know. Like I said before, barbers. There we go. Barbers, estheticians, psychiatrists, psychologists, whatever it is that you have, let me know. And like I said before, I'm gonna start throwing events. The money that I charge for the events will go towards paying those people to teach the kids. And then the parents, of course, will pay to go to the schools. I'm not trying to charge $10 million and $74,000 for the kids to go. We got a call. What's going on? You on R.A.U.L.I Radio. Caller, tell me your name, where you're calling from, and what you want to say.
What's up? This is Chris from Washington State. I just figured I'd call in and keep the conversation going.
I dig it. How you doing, Miss Chris?
I'm doing all right.
That's cool. So what's on your mind?
Nothing, it's challenging for me. I try to bring mental health awareness. I have organizations. I'm very educated. Nurse for 17 years. Gave up my license during the pandemic. I have my accounting taxation degree, my law degree, and I'm trying to figure out what degree to work on next.
I dig. Do your kids know? Have you expressed to them how you did everything for them?
Absolutely, but my kids are too greedy, and they've been manipulated by their father.
Oh,
I'm an evil person in their eyes.
Yeah.
They've been brainwashed for too many years.
Oh,
That
yeah.
explains it
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Damn.
And there's no way you can call the motorcycle gang for the father. No, I'm just.
Man, I be holding people back. I be holding people back.
Man, that's a hard pill to swallow. Man, I hate when parents.
You know, I invested young. I'm successful. I had my first rental property at 20. You know, I keep trying. That's all I can do in life. Knock me down, I get back up and keep going.
Man, you're not trying. You doing from what I hear.
For real. You got any houses for rent?
All I know how to do is hustle the most legal way. I don't want to follow in my family's footsteps.
Huh?
Yeah.
That man, I dig. Hey,
that'd be a fly interview though with the family.
Man, that would. Y'all in Washington?
I'm in Washington State. Yeah.
Man, I fly to Washington.
But I'm a dual citizen. I love Canada.
Hey.
I love Canada.
Big shout outs to Canada, man. Halifax, Nova Scotia. I love
that. United States needs to learn more from Canada. That's all I got to say.
I actually agree with that.
I second that.
Yeah,
I've been to Canada plenty of times. I second that.
I agree with that. Y'all got a way better.
You know, out here we got too much homeless. You don't see that. It's there in Canada, but nothing like we got here.
It's so clean in Canada. It's so clean.
Exactly.
Every corner, there's them little hand sanitizer things on the poles.
Dang.
Like at least in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I was at. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's everybody friendly, like super friendly. I was playing basketball one time. I'm sorry, it's off topic, but I was playing basketball one time and I like to talk shit.
Yeah.
And dude stopped. He got out of the defense stand. He was like, "Jerry, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what happened?" He was like, "You just seem real angry." And I had to ask myself, "Well, am I angry?" You know what I mean? Like, man, big shout out to Canada, man. For real, they cool people out there.
I got to go out there, man. I heard.
You're awesome. I'm so glad I tuned in. I'll stay tuning in.
Hey, Chris, one more thing, Chris. Another thing that might help. With your kids feeling the way they feel, think of a time when they were kids and y'all used to go do something that they really loved. You know what I mean? It can even be something as simple as ice cream. You know what I mean? Family trips to ice cream. Do that with them now as adults and see how that goes and sit down and have a conversation.
No, my kids need to take the money in the envelope and disappear and leave me alone.
Hold on.
Let me live my life. Let me live my life. I'm retired, technically, you know. It's time for me to live my life.
Touche.
Yeah.
I mean, I put them up in a house that I provided, paid the bills, and thankfully I checked on that house. It was a flop house. You know? No.
Let me ask you a question, Chris, and please don't take this the wrong way. I mean, no disrespect. By you doing that and still giving, do you think that helps the situation? Knowing they look at you a certain way and don't respect you, but they're gonna keep doing it because they know you're gonna keep giving. You know,
that's exactly why they're the way they are. They were spoiled. They're used to mom being there and providing. And the moment I realized that this isn't cool, I got to stand up for myself, change the ways, started incorporating tough love. And for instance, my son turned his back on me and took my grandkids, who I've supported since before they came in this world, and made sure they had a roof over their head, didn't have to be on government assistance. And now it's been 45 days since I've got to see my grandkids because now they're in another state.
Dang.
And that's hurting bad.
Dan, you might need to take you a small little break to get a little alignment to yourself.
Right. So I need time for me. So take that envelope and go live life. Just know that your mom helped make sure you could go and survive.
And go on a vacation. Do like that movie that still got her groove back, man. Forget about everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead and live life.
Yeah, just live life, and then when you come back, get the
Canada, here I come. You can't find me. My phone don't work there for you to reach me. You don't know my other number. You don't know my other address. You don't know nothing because I ain't took you over the border. I have a secret life. Yes, I do. You know, I know my DNA. I know where I come from. I know what I have. Yes.
Yeah, I dig that. Okay, yeah, I would definitely do that then.
Yeah.
Take you a little break and shut everybody out. Get that me time.
Live
Yes,
yourself.
I am 43 years old and I have been retired for, enough years that I need to see what that retirement life is like. I retired early because I worked hard.
I dig that. Yeah, you deserve that then. Yeah,
But, I have a heart of gold. I love helping people. But there's too much scamming, too much greed in this world, too much evil, too much corruption.
Mm-hmm.
True. I feel, when you say it like that, I definitely feel that. That's true.
Real.
That's true.
And family's the worst when it comes.
I just have too much life experience. And more in the negative than the positive. Although, I loved what I did because I was there for people. I took care of people with care, compassion, and respect. It's really hard to find that in the healthcare system nowadays.
Ooh, yo, don't even get me started on the healthcare system. Ooh, man. That's the devil in the.
That's why Canada, yeah.
Should I appreciate your call, Chris? If you can, send me some pictures.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys' time. You guys have a safe, blessed night.
All right, you too.
Thank you,
Chris. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Right quick to our comments. Cecilia's right along with Chris. She says her kids resented her for always working, but they started to understand as they got older.
Wow.
Now that I have my own business, I have more time available for them, especially my 17 and 9-year-old. Miss Kay Jones, the owner of Plus Size Bridal, is tuned in. She says, my kids are spoiled, but they more than respect me and my hustle. Their dads did nothing this year. She says, you go, girl. She's cheering on Chris, the caller. She's cheering her on. Cecilia Guzman owns a Taste of Chamoy. It's a Mexican candy with a twist, y'all. Y'all go look up a Taste of Chamoy. She's tuned in also. She says, I need to go to Canada. She's laughing with Chris. Kay Jones says, single moms, the biggest hustlers, for real. My kids didn't understand still don't some days. Chris, girl, not get away. She said, not get away, Chris. She's telling you don't get away too soon. Kay Jones says, oh, wow, I would never do my mom that way. So
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is the R.A.U.L.I radio show, y'all. Let's get back to Inyar, Zulu, and the topic of the night, along with our special guest tonight, Mr. Jay Reckless of Reckless Podcast. Y'all go look up Reckless Podcast. Back to Inyar Zulu.
All right, y'all. I love the feedback, the energy coming in. I'm digging it. I'm feeling it.
For real.
I'm gonna get up on Lansing, Michigan real quick. If y'all didn't see it, there's a video out there of a young boy getting arrested for walking through the trash can. I'm not gonna stay on this too long, but I want to get to one more thing and then get to the main event. The reason why I'm doing phase one is so stuff like this doesn't happen. I saw the dad out there like just begging and pleading, like, hey, what'd he do? What'd he do? And even if he was to go get his gun and shoot the cops would either gunned him down or taken him to jail. So it's a lose-lose. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying is the child would have lost out, because now that child doesn't have a father, going to end up in the care of the state. So when I'm talking about doing phase one, these are the things I'm talking about doing. We got to start building for ourselves and not allowing everybody in our community, which means we're policing ourselves. Like I was saying with domestic violence, if a woman or a man's getting beat up, or if a woman's getting beat up and the brothers got to come in and handle up, that got to be our responsibility. It should have been 12 brothers on that parking lot in a matter of a minute to tell them cops, you let them go or you might not make it out of here. There was a time in Third Ward Niggas Home where that happened. There were certain streets and certain areas of town you would go in, and if the cops came in there acting stupid, they'll get ran off. No more wheels on your car. Oh, now your clothes is missing. Now you want to call for backup, but now they're not coming because they know you was doing something crazy. So we need to go back to those times. So y'all check out that video of the young man in Lansing, Michigan. No matter where you at in the country, do something like this, man. It's up to us, the men. We really got to step our game up. We real good at talking that jive. Oh, man, you look at me like this again, I'm gonna smack you. If you touch it, we got to be like that with our culture and our community, man. And because this doesn't need to happen. That little boy is traumatized now. So think about that, man. We'll get more in depth in that to another time. The Melly Mel Eminem disc. I got a music lover over here right quick. We're gonna tap into that, and then we're gonna get to the main event. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Who you think won real quick?
M.
Yeah, I know.
M.
Yeah.
But in saying that, man, Melly Mel been in the game for years.
Man.
You know what I mean? I got nothing but the utmost respect for him. In saying that, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Eminem is known for ending people's careers through these battles.
Yeah.
Why? That's my only question. Why and what were you thinking?
I'm in agreement, man. I'm that guy who's always trying to pull for, like, you know, the brothers in the situation. But God dog, man. Man. Oh, man, I was embarrassed for him and for myself. But he did say something that I agree with. And I'm going to get to that. He said that the only reason why Eminem is as big as he is because he's white. Now, I got my thoughts on this. You tell me what you think. Do you think Eminem? Go ahead, tell me what you think.
I highly disagree.
Okay.
Because if that was the case, mind you, this is back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Why Vanilla Ice ain't still hot?
Okay.
He white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's played out. To me, that's played out. Especially the fact that Eminem came out in the 90s. If he would have came out nowadays,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, I think he's done enough to prove himself.
What we got on this one? Hello, welcome to R.A.U.L.I Radio. Give me your name, where you calling from, and tell us what you got to say. After you get out the bathroom. Oh, no. You could have stayed on. It was... All right, what you were saying?
You said, "Oh, okay. Let me finish using the bathroom." I think Eminem done enough in his career to prove he's not this big because he's white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see if he would have came out 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but he's been around for 20 years, 20 plus years. You know what I mean? He earned that status of one of the greats, a top 5 great. You know what I mean? But I definitely understand it on both sides. But when it comes to him, that color race stuff, I don't agree.
I think you know what? My thing is, I think he did get that big because he's white. Vanilla Ice was whack. He was whack. Let's just be honest with you. He was whack. Beastie Boys get a lot of credit. And even though Paul Revere was a cool song, I say it like this. Eminem did come out in the 90s. I'm not doubting his skill. He got some good skill, but there's a lot of brothers who got skills who never got the recognition, who never got that, like, hey, he's on Mount Rushmore. One of my favorites is K Reno.
Big shout outs.
You know what I'm saying? K can take out anybody in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, one of his CDs will shut down a lot of these cats because he could tell stories. His lyrics, you got to listen to him a few times before you even catch. And he got double entendres. Like, he can mean 2 different things at one time.
Yeah.
So, hey, so you heard K Reno? Yeah. So another one, I think Fat Pat and Hawk should have got a lot more because they rhyme king is crazy.
Yeah.
And also, let's go commercial. Jada, Meth, even Most Definitely back in the day. They was dope lyrically, but they never got that. They never got that praise like Eminem would get. And I feel like he get a lot more praise because he's a white boy who got better skills than any other white boy who came before him.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If M was black, do you think he'd be as big as he is now?
Nope.
You don't think so?
Nope. I think he'd be in the same genre as like a Jada or somebody.
Okay.
I think if Eminem was black, he wouldn't be as big as he is. Matter of fact, they might laugh at him. They're like, man, what you talking about, dude?
On that aspect, yeah. Because especially in his early days, my name is, you know what I mean? For a black artist to come spitting that, you can be like, what the, you know what I mean?
Afro Man, he's a,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Devin the Dude's another one. His crazy stories he got. He don't get Mount Rushmore type. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think if he was,
I think when it comes to the South, And this is why I'm glad we're talking about it. This is why I started my podcast, man. This just Houston alone, there's so many great artists.
Yeah.
There's so much talent in Houston.
Yeah.
But for me growing up in New York, me being from New York, I never heard no Southern rap until I moved down south.
Man, we got to do a show.
It's like the South doesn't get the recognition it deserves.
No, I agree with
you. Know
that.
What I mean? There's so much talent. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So much talent.
You got a lot of, but you got a lot of underground cats in New York. Brother Lynch Hung, I think. Now with that, Cali. Jay was from New York, Yonkers, right? I know he get a lot of love out there, but so build a Mount H-Town then. We really should.
Yo, facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? We really do need to give a lot of these rappers their props while they are right now. You know, that's why I said K Reno, man. I that's my go-to anytime someone say, well, you gotta have lyrics, you gotta be able to tell stories. You gotta man, you get a KCD, you get all that
one. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That might be the first 3 songs.
Yeah.
you still got 10, 11 to go. So, but yeah, I think when it comes to Eminem, and I think you're right with the South. If you do a little history on so-called hip hop, it is the 50th anniversary. A lot of the rap that you got now came from the South. Scientifically speaking, things come from the bottom and rise up. And that's how you get all the conjoining weather. So heat rises up, as they say, hits the cloud and makes rain. Different theories on that. That's a whole nother conversation. But the Harlem Renaissance, that's somewhere to start at. You know what I'm saying? The Harlem Renaissance, when a lot of people from the South, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, went up to Chicago, New York, and places like that, and a lot of culture was brought. That's when we started having the jig suits and all the other stuff. Just research that. But anyway, it's a whole nother thing. Mal, did you want to say something?
No. We just went live on Instagram as well. I'm just making sure they are tapped in with your conversation about Eminem being listed as one of the greatest or not.
Yeah.
And if he was listed only because he's white. And I wanted to input right quick, but I didn't want to cut your conversation.
No, what you gonna say?
You had changed conversation. So I'm with Jay.
Yeah.
I'm with Jay. He came correct. He came original. Nobody flows like him. Nobody. And the argument that I hear a lot of is that he's talking crazy. Well, most of that was his experience. And that's what artists are supposed to rap about. Most of it. I'm not saying all of it. Some of it is a little thrown off. But most of that was his experience.
Yeah.
So that's what artists are supposed to talk about. Not gangster shit when you ain't really no gangster.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
So my answer is that he does belong in that list of top 5, top 3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He top 3 without question.
See,
but I'm into storytelling also.
Yeah.
So if you're not into storytelling, maybe not. He's not your cup of tea.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted now. I'm not putting people up here who's just gangster rappers. Because Kid and Play, Rakim, Kane, Kool Mo D, CL Smooth and P Rock. Down here, you got Devin the Dude, K Reno, like I said. Anyway, I agree with you. I think that's why he gets, because he's actually a talented white boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm saying you got a lot of talented cats that are black who don't get that recognition because they almost expect us to already be like that. So it's like, okay.
Let's go deep. Let's go deeper into it. Let's look at Wayne. Me personally, Wayne's overrated. Super overrated. If you really listen to the things he say, a lot of it sound good, but if you truly listen to what he say, a lot of it don't make sense. It don't, and that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, he's still a good artist, but I truly believe he's highly overrated.
I agree with that. No, I think you got a bunch of rappers now that are highly overrated. In defense of Wayne, because believe me, I more than agree with you on that because I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? But some of his rhymes I listened to in retrospect, and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to catch that.
Yeah.
Because he had one rhyme said, real G's moving silence like lasagna. I'm like, shut up. But the G in lasagna is silent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are you talking about? So some of the stuff he be saying, I'll be looking at
And he
him
do
like,
spit some cold shit. You got like you see, you got to do a double take. Like what the?
yeah.
Oh, okay. And then there's some shit that's just like, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Because I hate rappers that like, because this happened, somewhat happening. I hate rappers that just consistently talk about banging women, selling dope, smoking dope, partying, drinking. What? That's all you got? The whole
let's
CD.
hear stories. I want to hear stories. Let's talk about something.
Exactly.
Let's bring it back to the 80s and 90s.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you had some out back in the day in the 90s, like, you know, Tribe Called Quest. Righteous, I can't
Slick
even remember.
Rick. Man.
The storyteller.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
saying?
So we had that. K Reno is most. There we go, Sister K. Yeah. Look, I always give props to K. I've been listening to him forever. I'm like, yo, how is this cat not? And he was out back in the day, but everybody give him his props. But yeah, I agree with you. Wayne is I think he gets a little bit too much recognition. You know what I'm saying?
Man, another Houston legend, man. In my eyes, man, PSK 13.
Oh,
Man,
snap.
big shout out to PSK 13 for real.
Yeah.
Man, that's my guy for real. I fuck with him tough. For real.
I haven't heard too much of him, but I heard a little bit. Yeah, I like him too.
Been putting music down for 20 plus years.
Yeah. You're right on that. But yeah, man, y'all let us know what's popping with that. We're gonna get to the main event because I got my guests waiting, so I apologize for that. We're talking about family, bringing families closer together. Dr. Annette's gonna come in here. She works with. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let her tell you. Y'all give me a second. Let me go get her.
Dr. Arnett, correct?
Annette, right?
Arnett.
Go down a little bit. Let's go down some more. There we go. Now we got her on the camera. Perfect. All right, y'all. We got Dr. Annette in the building. She's about to lace us with some game. She created, I listen to what I'm saying carefully. She created a game to help families speak more, communicate more. She did this because she saw a need, which is exactly what we've been talking about, what we need to do. This is revolutionary within itself. She created a game because she saw a need for families to start talking more, to get down to it. I had a conversation with her on the phone. She was telling me, I'm like, oh, snap, we do need to stop. You said one thing to me, you're tired of parents treating the kids all crazy and then coming to you and wanting you to fix it.
Yeah, I said that.
So I agree with, I'm like, yo, that's true, because we will mess up, don't want to take accountability, and then drop them off at a doctor and say they got a problem, and then want you to fix everything.
Exactly, yeah.
So she's here to lace y'all with this. What I want to do first is tell them what you do, your official title. I'm already calling you a doctor. She said call her Miss. I'm like, no, you a doctor. You about to get your flowers. So let the doc tell you exactly what it is that she does, and then we're going to get into the questions. And I want her to tell y'all about her game so y'all can purchase it. She got the YouTube links. I got to send them to Malcolm. But yes, Dr. Annette, let us know your official title and what it is you do.
All right. I am officially a licensed professional counselor, and I have certifications as a registered play therapist as well as a certified autism specialist.
Ooh, man, we need more of that.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you don't mind, tell me a little bit of the diaspora that you work with, who you work with.
I work primarily with children.
Okay.
And the name of my practice is Williams Counseling and Play Therapy, but I also see adults. I have a long history of working with foster and adoptive children. And so I get a lot of referrals from different foster adopt agencies and then just people in the community who have either foster children and are adopted children.
Over 30 years, right?
Yes.
Yep, I read that in the article. Over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. In the article,
awesome.
she was telling us about how you the evolution of the computer. How first y'all did fax machines. How you could just do work and then leave. How you would pass each other in the hallways, and then it went to the internet, to where you was working not only at the job but off the plantation. You know, or off the job.
That's right.
To where you was at home doing work, and they gave y'all cell phones. So you've evolved your practices with working with children and adults from, I like to say, the original way to the technological way.
In a sense.
Okay. Tell us about that.
I am big on social media and technology detox. I see what it's doing to our children. I'm seeing what it's doing to our families. We're spending too much time doing this and not enough eye contact, not having enough conversations. And so just this week, I've been working with families on how to detox their kids. On Tuesday nights, I do a teen group, and most of the teens who participate in that are fighting their parents because their parents are taking their phones from them or taking their tablets, and they just don't know what to do. So I'm trying to help them turn this around, in that you don't get your phone and then misbehave and have the phone taken from you. What I'm telling my parents is, let them earn getting that phone or that iPad. And then once you decide, or when you decide how much time they're going to spend on that, if they get 30 minutes a day, then you take it away, and they have to start that positive behavior all over again. And then the next day you can earn another 30 minutes. But what we have a tendency to do is, I'm going to take that from you. I'm going to take that from you. And you ain't going to do nothing. And then you take it. And then when they want to be involved with you, it's like, I really don't want to hear their mouth. So we stick that piece of technology back in their faces. So we are to blame for what's happening right now.
Hold on. One more time, y'all.
Domino.
One more time, y'all. Because this is something near and dear to my heart. Hold on. Have mercy. Because this is what I went through. We're empty nesting right now, but here's what I went through. I moved into a home, and it became a blended family. They had fathers already. I moved in, and I wanted to play the good cop. So mom was the disciplinarian because the dad was gone. So mom wasn't accustomed to being the disciplinarian. So she would take the phone. Good, right? Hold on. She would take the phone. You're not getting this phone back until you respect this family in this house. All they had to do was be good one day. Here you go, baby. I'm like,
or a few hours.
That didn't happen when we were growing up. So why are you giving them the phones back? So I had to turn it into, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm about to take over disciplinary, the disciplinarian role, because that ain't right. You're not teaching them correctly. So they hated when I took the phone, because when I was growing up, you're not getting your privileges back for a month. You're not going to Galveston. You're not going to no parties. You're not going anywhere.
Right.
So they hated when I got the phones. But anyway, I just wanted to say that in relation to what Dr. Miss Annette was saying. What do you want me to call you, Annette?
Either. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's Dr. Annette.
Dr.
You got to say Doc.
You can call me Miss Annette or Peaches. I don't care.
We have a question for you.
Okay.
Where did they find the game? Chris Spice Knight, she's in Washington. Can she purchase the game in Washington?
Not yet. Matter of fact, the artist is making some modifications in the plan to the game boards. And so the plan is to go to the Game Crafter by September 1st. But I would love for you to have my email address so we can stay in touch. And that is DRANNETTE Williams, the number 5 at gmail.com.
Get that up there.
The
number 5.
Annette Williams, number 5?
Yes, at gmail.com.
Number 5 at gmail.com?
Yes.
Did I spell everything correctly?
I don't know where you are.
ANETTE. Yeah, you got that right.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Oh, that's correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right.
As soon as cursor acts right, I will get that up there. There we go.
There we go. Y'all look that up. The YouTube.
Mhm.
How do they find? What do they type in for the YouTube?
They can go to armswide.org,
That's what it was.
and on the Foster Adopt Agency website, you'll see the gaming infomercial that we did, and that will also link you to the YouTube videos that I sent you for review.
Perfect.
Armswide.org.
Yes.
Look on my page also, because right when I leave here, I'm going to post those videos on my Facebook and on my Instagram, and they'll be on there all week. You got to really see the games because the questions were real in depth, we was talking about earlier to the sister Knight on how you got to talk to your kids. But what was the question? How do you feel when you're at school? It was the boy with the glasses. How do you feel when you're in school? I forgot exactly what it was, but the questions on there, you have to answer honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not no chucking and jiving like, well, how do you feel about your hair?
Right.
It's like, hey, how did you feel in school today? Do you like going to school? What could I do? Pretty much like that. Like they were real questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. What made you create the game? Like what really touched you to be like, all right, this is my gift that I have to give. Like what made you do that?
Well, let me just say this. I didn't know it was a gift. I didn't. But I see so many families, not just families out in the general populace, but families from church, and they're coming in broken. And when I'm listening to them and having conversation with them, what I'm seeing is you all don't know how to communicate. There's a big generational gap in terms of expectations, not being relatable. And so I just asked God, I said, help me to find a way to bridge this gap, to get us to talking about serious things, things that we shy away from, because it's those things that we shy away from that get us in trouble. Because if mom and daddy don't have the answer, I'm going to get the answer in the street. And what I get in the street is all wrong. And so by the time that my child is involved in some of those things, it's too late. I can't pull them back from drugging. I can't pull them back from sex. I can't pull them back from some of the things that they're getting involved with. So God just blessed me to be able to do it. And so not only have I done it for the therapeutic perspective, from that perspective, but from the religious perspective as well. So I have like 43 games that I have developed. The plan is to venture into virtual games next year.
Oh, that's good.
Have you got any feedback from people that bought the games?
Well, the games are not for sale
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
So what we've been doing is doing like infomercials, game testing. Everybody loves them, hands down. Matter of fact, I did one this weekend, and everyone was just bragging about how the games touched them, how it gave them an opportunity to be transparent, but also teaches other players how to respect someone when they are being transparent. We're too hypocritical, we're too judgmental. And so it teaches them how to take a step back and put on your empathetic cap, put on your sympathetic cap, and connect with people. That's the only way that we're going to get through this, is being each other's keeper.
Wait a minute, man.
I told you.
Wait a minute, man. I like this woman, man. Hey, have her back, man.
Now, I'm telling you,
She
I heard it
talks
on the
some good
phone.
stuff. That's some good stuff, for real. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. It's all about Mr. R.A.U.L.I. This is the R.A.U.L.I radio show, everybody. We have Dr. Annette Williams in the building. One quick question for Dr. Annette Williams, and then I'll hand the microphone back to R.A.U.L.I. Where can people find you at on social media, ma'am, to find out more? We already have armswide.org. Get most of your information from there about your games and about your vision, but where can they find you on social media?
I admit that I am a dinosaur when it comes to social media. So I'm getting better. As a matter of fact, someone asked me today if I had an Instagram page, and I said no, not yet. But I can be reached just through Annette Williams, and you'll know me because I'm the one with my hand up like this at the beach. And or go under Stock Development Group, which is the religious side of the game development. And so there's a Facebook page for that, or stockdevelopmentgroup@gmail.com.
What's the Facebook page again?
Stock Development Group, STALK.
Stock Development Group.
Yes.
You also said there's a Gmail for Stock, right?
Yes, stockdevelopmentgroup@gmail.com.
Perfect. You have an event coming up in a couple months up in September?
I do, in November.
November.
Yes.
What does your event consist of?
It is a workshop for families who have adopted transracially, meaning families who have adopted children who are not of their race or ethnic group. But the focus of our November 4th event, and let me just interject this before I forget, November is National Adoption Month.
Okay.
And so there are a lot of consummations that are taking place across the U.S. And so I was asked to speak for a transracial adoption event in May. And so I got a lot of insight from the attendees and from people that I see in my practice. And I'm not throwing shade, I'm just saying what is. I've seen African-American children come in, who are under the care of someone who is not African-American, and they have these little knots all over their heads. The skin is ashy white. I've heard some folks say, I don't want to put grease on my child's hair because I don't want any grease on my pillows. Just different things like that. And so, but I want to say this too. You have some individuals who have adopted African-American children who want to do it right. All right. And so I'm going to say this to us. We have to not be so sensitive when it comes to someone who doesn't look like us coming to ask us about how to take care of our children. If we had more of us who were stepping up to the plate to take care of our children, we wouldn't have to go there. But see, we still have a problem. And now you got me on a soapbox. We still have a problem. And the problem is, I want somebody light-skinned with good hair. I'm still hearing that in 2023.
God,
ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So we can't have it both ways. We're either going to step up and be a positive contributor to this disproportionality that's going on in terms of overrepresentation of our kids in the foster care system, overrepresentation of our children in the prison system, or we're going to shut up. So for those who really want to do good by our children, my daughter is a cosmetologist, and I said, listen, we're going to do this. And we're going to keep this, make it an ongoing thing so that we can help them help our kids. So she's going to do the hair piece, and I'm going to do the therapeutic piece, which consists of providing some historical information about why hair care has and is still important to Africans and African Americans, and how we need certain oils for our skin. We can't wash our hair every day. So we're going to teach them protective styles and things of that nature. Because again, our children are overrepresented in the system. And so all of us have to do something to help these people help our kids.
You said that we're overrepresented and we don't do enough. So do you think, how am I ask this? Do you think we need to start our own foster care system? Do you think
we had our own foster care system, and you know what that was?
What was that?
That was Big Mama and Papa. When they knew that the family was in trouble, Big Mama was coming and Papa was coming, and they were going to take those kids and raise them like they were on their own. And the kids didn't know any better until they were 36. Well, Grandma, I thought you were my mama. Nah, I'm your grandma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what has happened over time is the disintegration of the family unit. We're the daddies. We're the ones who teach the boys how to be strong and then teach their daughters how not to let somebody run over them and take advantage of them. All right. That generational gap has gotten so slim. You got It was 50-something years between me and my grandmother, okay? Now you got a grandmother 32,
Dang.
there's a daughter 16,
Ooh.
with a baby 1 or 2. So you're still talking about a young woman who really wants to do her thing. I gave you X number of years of my life, now I want my life back. But what you forgot is that your 16-year-old, although she's a mother, she's still a child. And now she's responsible for another child. So you can either work to break this curse by being more involved in your granddaughter's life and teaching your daughter, hey, you got one, don't go get another one. Go pursue your education, go do something. But instead, we're clubbing with our children. We competing for the man with them. We're trying to dress like them. So I can only say the only way to get a hold on this and get it back is we got to go back to the way that God said it's supposed to be. And we have to commit to that. We got to commit to doing things right.
Golly, I agree with that. Go ahead, Mal. What's up, Mal?
And she came in here preaching tonight. I love it, man. I love it.
Look, I'm not trying to preach. I'm just trying to tell you what it is.
We just had a similar conversation before you came in, and we were talking about some of these women, mothers, are putting Daisy Dukes on their children, styling their hair like grown
clubbing together.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the little babies.
Yeah.
They got little 4 and 5-year-olds and Daisy Dukes twerking on videos with them.
Yeah.
And I'm going, man, what is this? Don't get me wrong. I'm a man. I like twerking, but not on a baby.
And making the children responsible for their siblings.
Man.
And you upset because your child does not have the capacity to be the parent that you wish you were. And so when CPS is called in or police or whatever, we want to be upset about that. But the bottom line is we have to make better choices. We got to make better decisions. And I'm going to throw this out while I'm here. You might not have me back, but I have to say
Oh, no, I'm having you back.
We have to, but this is a whole nother something. We have to stop breeding and having all these children and naming them like their law firm, Smith, Jones, Jenkins, so-and-so. It's almost like a badge of honor for a girl to say, I got a baby for him, and I got a baby for him too, and I got a baby for him too.
So true.
You have nothing for yourself. What can you offer this child? How can you guarantee that your child is not going to wind up in the system, either the foster care system or the prison system? So we've got to figure out a way, and that's partly why I came up with the games, is so we can start having these candid conversations and really getting down to the nitty-gritty and exploring people's thoughts. Where are you? What are you thinking? Why are you thinking that way? Let me help you turn that thing around and get you on the right path.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Because you going in right now. I'm make sure my phone stay on you. If you were, first off, my foster family, you said adoptive family. Is there a difference?
There's a difference.
Okay, let me know the difference first. So I'm saying this right.
Okay. Foster care is designed for temporary placement. So let's say, someone comes into your home, God forbid, and there's no other place for them to go, like a relative, then they would go to a foster family. And that foster family it's supposed to be like a regular family, I forgot what I was going to say, the least invasive, or forgot my terminology. But anyway, to try to lessen a child going into an institution. You want to try to keep that same home feel, you know what I'm saying? And so the plan, though, is that any child or children placed in foster care, that they will eventually return home, if that's possible. If it's not possible, if the parents are not complying to the court orders and CPS service plans and things, if the parents' rights are terminated, the government does not want children languishing in temporary placement. So then they are placed into an adoptive home that is to become their permanent home.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Until 18 or adopted out.
Well, what happens is, a foster parent is given like first option to adopt if they want to.
Okay.
If not, then an adoptive family is found for them, and then they can stay there until, because now they're the person's child. You adopted their child.
Yeah, okay.
But in foster care, they can stay up to age 18 and then age out, or 21 if they have some special needs, or if they're in school, maybe they were delayed and they're going to graduate by the time they're 21, they can stay in care. But if they have some severe needs, and then that child will transition from the Child Protective Services system to the Adult Protective Services system, so that they can continue that, continuum of care.
Okay, it sounds similar to the prison system. You got to stay somewhere until
transfer unit.
Yeah,
Transfer unit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's crazy when you say that. I was just thinking like, that's just like when you sitting in jail and they waiting. Wow.
Do you think that would like mess the kids' head up even more though, by constantly moving from place to place?
Of course it does. Of course. And there have been so many changes to the law in terms of placement, because they recognize that is very traumatic. The first traumatic experience is being removed from the people you know. I don't care how much abuse a child endures. There's still that love to want to be with mama or be with daddy or be with granny, right?
True.
So moving from that to another placement is traumatic. And so the hope is that they can at least stay in foster care until a permanent home, is found. But that doesn't always happen. So you do have children who have several moves because I just don't fit here. I'm acting out here. The caregiver doesn't want to be bothered with me. Let's keep it real. So it could be a host of reasons why children move as much as they move.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
I can only imagine, man. That's a lot.
I got a question, man. I'm
Do you
sorry,
think?
Man, because this is a great topic. Do you feel like there needs to be more of a harsher background check for these adults to be taking in these kids? Because you hear a lot of times how these kids are being abused by the foster parents or whatever household they're in.
I can say this to you, and what we do at R.A.U.L.I, and matter of fact, I contract with R.A.U.L.I, is they do the local, the Harris County, the Child Protective Background Check, the federal background check. But background checks don't tell you anything about a person's character, or, there are things you can withhold. And so when the home study workers go out, those are the people who go in and assess the home, that make sure that it's safe. They interview all the family members, everything. You have to have a keen eye and discernment, I'm going to say, to be able to say something didn't feel right. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something. Just give me a couple of days and let that resonate with me, and I'll come back to you. And I've done that. I'm like, I just can't put my finger on it. And then I've gone back and said, we need to check this piece a little bit more. Because I didn't like the fact that, and I'm just making up something, I didn't like the fact that the foster dad asked, when can this girl start dating? Or, you know what I'm saying? Just something that's off.
Red flags.
Yeah, some red flags. And so we have to be in tune to those red flags. But another piece to that too is sometimes there are some red flags. Sometimes there are some concerns. That does not necessarily mean that a family is not appropriate. That may mean that the family may need to participate in some therapy, or they may need some additional coaching, because there's no perfect family out there. There's no perfect family.
That's true.
And so we have to do our part to help them get what they need, so they can give our children what they need.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask this next. I used to work for a foster. Hold on. No, it wasn't foster care, because they would sit there and it was like a home. And they had was each kid had a drawer. It was one room, like it'll be a room this size, and some bunk beds right here, one bathroom. Depending on which one I was at, one side for the boys, one side for the girls. But, some of them would be the girls would go to a whole nother building. I started looking at the files and realized they get paid a lot of money. And not just the money, they get paid per sickness. So if this child's taking Ritalin and Risperidol and Pepto-Bismol, That's almost $2 to $3 grand just for that one child, just for the medicines alone. Not to mention if he has different orders that are allocated in the DSM. So he has ADHD, right? And then that's the most popular one. But he has all these different disorders. Mm-hmm. They get paid for those. Yeah. So like he said, how do you kind of expel them? Like how do they? Like you can't. How do they get into the system so easily? Because I worked for them and I told those kids, I said, man, because they had cameras all over the place. And I said, man, they might fire me after I say this, but y'all need to stick together. Some of these people here do not care.
They in it for the money.
Exactly. Yeah. I read that thing and it was like, they said, well, you don't get paid enough. I said, it ain't about my pay. Yeah. It's about what they owe you. They're making this much money and they give me y'all Chef Boy. It's not even Chef Boy RD. It's Boy RD Chef. You know, they're not even getting that stuff. It's real. Corn and noodles. Yeah. Oh, well, because they got to have
jail food.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they getting, sandwiches.
What you're speaking of is what's called level of care. And so with every diagnosis, it's kind of like, ding, check mark, ding. Oh, he's passed 5 diagnoses. Oh, he's going to be severe. So for payment for severe reimbursement, and again, I don't know, but payment for severe reimbursement is $2,500 a month. Mm-hmm. You know, and I struggle with that because now, granted, there are some kids who have those diagnoses, but again, we got to go back to the trauma piece. And if I don't have the words to explain how I'm feeling or to describe how I'm feeling, the hurt, the sorrow, all of that, I'm going to act out. And that does not warrant a diagnosis. That warrants some intervention.
Oh man.
So, but it's a money-making business. Let's make no mistake about it. Just like the prison system, it is a money-making business. So if I can keep you longer, I can make more money.
That's what got me really. And they actually fired me after I told them that. I was like, yo, I told them the ones that I remember how much I said, man, you know that you're getting over $5 grand and you've had these same clothes since you came here. And then I hate to hear them when they say, oh, my mom's coming this week. I was there for 3 months. You know how many of them kids say, oh, my mom's coming this week. Okay. I'm leaving this week. It was mentally a lot on me because I was like, I don't even know why I want to cry. You have to deal with this.
But it goes back to what I was saying, that despite the abuse that these kids endure, they still want to be with mama. Yes. They still want to be with daddy because it's that one word, hope, that mom and daddy have changed and, you know, they have a place for me and it's going to be all good. But I want to say this too. I don't want it to seem one-sided. Not everybody is in this for the money.
True.
There are a lot of good organizations doing a lot of good things, and I have to give a shout out to Arms Wide. They're doing a lot of good things, and so are others. But what I've experienced, what you're talking about, is mostly in like the private home settings.
It was a private home.
Yeah, so I've experienced that too.
It was like it was an acre home. Look, it was in a little neighborhood. It was a compound. Mm-hmm. The compound had a little gate around 2 or 3 houses, and
jail.
That's what it was.
That's exactly
it was the same thing as jail, except having doors that closed.
Yeah.
You could walk out and go outside to a certain area. Mm-hmm. You had field trips. So not y'all, but some people will go clean up the streets. Mm-hmm. They get to go to a church. A church was a field trip for them. Mm-hmm. They get to go to the church or something like that. So it's like, I always wonder, like how do you stop? Like, I want to open my own, but if I get that kind of money, I'm giving it to the kids. Like, or at least saving it for them.
Well, no, you have to have your operating fees. I mean, your operating funds.
That's true.
Somebody has to pay the rent and the lights and all of that stuff. Yeah, you've got to have it. But you can establish like an allowance for the kids if you give them chores to do. If they earn all A's or whatever, then you can set something aside for them if that's what you choose to do.
They had that, but they would give them every reason. Like the minute, and like, I would never do this. And they would tell you, how did he act today? Was it bad? Was it like I had a whole packet I had to fill out each kid. Mm-hmm. And if they got like 1 strike, they wouldn't get some money.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, and I would never fill it out because they got mad at me. I'm like, yo, you're not in your house. Mm-hmm. you got to stay on the stinky bunk bed, worry about someone taking your clothes,
Mhm.
worrying about someone coming over there at night. Because they had to sit in there at nighttime, but sometimes, people will go out, smoke their cigarettes, whatever, once they thought they were asleep. And those kids are smart.
Mhm.
Those kids are smart.
Because they've been around. They know how to work the system.
Yes.
Just like our juveniles in the juvenile detention
Hmm.
facilities. They know how to work the system. Same thing with our adult prison system. They've been around for a long time. They know how to work the system.
That's true. What would be your qualifications for a foster parent if you had a system? Like, how would you pick the parents? Like, what would be some qualifications you personally have?
Personally?
Personally. Now, I want you.
Let me respond to that like this.
Okay.
There would definitely be a rigorous background check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I suggested this when we had our transracial adoption workshop. I think that there needs to be some personality tests done as well.
Yes.
That can tell us a lot about who we're dealing with and what we can expect from this person and how we can expect this person to perform under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I think my games, and I'm not just saying that to be saying it, but I'm saying it because it poses real situations that people are likely to face when they take on foster children. And so you got to be on it. How am I going to handle this child calling me the B word or kicking holes in my walls? We want it to be rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is we can be pushed.
Huh.
And if I just bought a new house and I got a kid in there who's kicking holes in my walls, I'm going to feel some kind of way about that.
True.
So I need to make sure that I can, manage my own feelings and emotions such that I don't cause any more harm to this child and catch a case.
Huh.
So I think that the way we're doing it across the board with the parent training, the home studies, the background checks, I think more along the lines of maybe some personality testing should be incorporated in that.
And that would probably help a little bit better.
It may help, but you know what?
Psych evaluations.
On those people who own it, you know what I'm saying, on the fence, we might need that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I was reading the book. The FBI has like a personality test that they go through. Push through a whole bunch, like you were saying, a very rigorous test. I think that might, to add on to what you said, help pick out, because some of these kids get treated like crap, and they get snapped on when they're just expressing themselves. Like sometimes the adult forgets, hey, I'm the adult, you the child.
Yeah. But some of the kids treat the parents like crap.
No,
I've seen that too.
That's true. I've been stabbed with pencils with some of those kids, but it's like, I know where you're coming from, man. I know I'm just another employee to you. Like I said earlier, I felt like I had to earn their respect.
Yeah.
I was like, well, hold on. I'm in your house. An employee is somebody who I can come clock in and clock out.
Right.
You got to stay here. Yeah, exactly. I can go to a home and you're at a so-called home.
Right.
So, but yeah, I agree with you with the test, man. I think you should get more people in there who kind of like genuinely care. And you said Arms Wide is a good organization to work with?
It is.
Okay. Let me ask you a question with this. What's your games? Oh, wait, let me ask you this. What differences do you experience and what similarities do you experience between, now that you gave me some game, adoptive family, foster families, and like, I don't want to say regular families, but non-foster adoptive families, like, like where I go on to.
Repeat the question.
What are some similarities and differences, like communication wise, that you see between foster families, like kids who are staying like in a home, adoptive families who would adopt, like you said, adopted. Am I saying this right? Adopted the kids in, and they stay with them permanently. Yeah. And then I hate to say regular, but like
I know what you're saying. Those who are not foster or adopted families. That's a loaded question. And you know why I say that? Because, thumbs up. Because you have many birth parents who don't know how to engage with their birth children. So it's hard to kind of differentiate between the three because as a foster parent, you don't know the children you're getting. As an adopted parent, you don't know the children you're getting.
Ooh.
So there's a whole piece of, first of all, I have to get to know you. Then I have to figure out how I'm going to communicate with you. For those families, like you're saying, just those who are not either foster or adoptive, we don't spend enough time getting to know the children we gave birth to. In that article you read where the two universities did the study on how much time we spend talking, 37 minutes a day is what the research revealed that we spend time communicating with one another. 37 minutes, 10 and a half hours a day are spent on some type of technology. You see what I'm saying? So you really can't differentiate between the three. I can only say that the foster and the adoptive parent are getting children that they know nothing about. So they have an excuse. But you gave birth to these kids. What's the excuse?
You know how you were when you were a kid.
Yeah.
What's the excuse?
I wasn't expecting that answer. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Because so it's pretty much, it's all the same to an extent. To an extent, it's all the same. You got to get to know them, and the people who did birth their kids, they're not even appreciating the blessings that they have.
And where we used to be ride or die with our kids, I don't care. I want them out. I'm talking about birth.
Yes. I've noticed that a lot more. I've had to get on some of my own family members. It's like, you just drop your kids off with anybody. My kids, they go to my mom, and that's about it. Me and my wife just have to sacrifice that time with each other or wait till they go to sleep. We homeschool them. Because if you learn or you don't learn, that's on me. I'm not about to sit over here and be like, oh, well, the teacher didn't teach you. Well, no. If you don't learn this, that's on Baba. So I need to step my game up. But you're right. We're so quick to push our kids off on, even if it's not school, we'll learn on the computer, or on the telephone, the tablet, the phones and stuff. Watch Coco Melon.
Yeah.
And like you said, we spend 37 minutes. There's known to us, there's 12 hours in a day and 12 hours in a night. And we spend 37 minutes total.
37 minutes total.
Talking to each other.
That's it.
How do you get to know somebody in that time?
You can't.
How do your games improve that?
The games, first of all, bring us to the table. And it allows for an opportunity, again, turn that card over. It's a situation that is real. And it forces you either as the card holder to respond to the questions, but it gives the other folks an opportunity to hear your response, to really actively listen to what you're saying, and then to think about what role they played in me feeling like I'm a failure, or I feel like I disappointed my mom and dad, or I wish I had done this differently. So it allows for a lot of open-ended, affords open-ended questions. And so it's the card player's responsibility to fill in the blank. And then for the other people to not judge, but to really think about what this person is saying and figure out how we can help this individual in their situation.
So it sounds like to me, we just had this conversation before you came in. It really falls on the parents to be open to play this game.
Absolutely.
To in order to hear your child out and how they feel and what they gotta say.
Yeah. If you really want to connect with your child, sometimes you have to step out of that parent role, because sometimes we go over when it comes to I'm the authority figure, I said, and we don't listen.
True. That's true.
And so our kids, like I said, they're out trying to find these answers from anywhere and anybody. And then when they come back broken, pregnant, on drugs, you figure, what happened? Well, what happened is you weren't listening. And when they did voice their concerns or, whatever the issues are, we're in denial about so much. And as African Americans, there was no such thing for us as depression. you better go talk to somebody.
Man, we was just saying that.
Yep.
We
Suck it
skated
up.
all over that. If anybody has experienced depression or knows what depression is, it's us.
Huh.
From the time that we were taken from Africa and sold into slavery, and our families ripped from us, and then being set free from the, with the Emancipation Proclamation, not knowing where we were going and what we were going to do and how we were going to take care of ourselves. That's us.
In a nutshell.
So that's us in a nutshell. Where are we now? We're in that same place. We're in that same place.
Same place, different decade.
I was the whole show is really about this, to uniting the right people. I feel like it's been past generations. Like I was discussing on one show, different leaders. You had Malcolm X and Martin and Marcus. We've all had these leaders, and I feel like the one mistake all of them made was letting everybody in. Not like you said.
Everybody's not supposed to be part of the same cause. Everyone don't have that same path.
So
when you let everybody join it, there's gonna be holes in the bag. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He don't belong in the same bag you in.
Exactly.
You going down L Street, he's supposed to be going down M Street.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like they used to say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Explain that to me when you say not let everybody in.
Just because you black doesn't mean you should be in the group.
Okay.
I feel like if you came in there, like, for example, the Nation, you came in there with like, yeah, brother, I hate the white man.
You're accepted, let's go.
Exactly. Come on in.
Yeah.
Say that again, Jim.
You're accepted, let's go.
Yeah. And supposedly they always say MLK was turning the other cheek. That's a different, I talked about that, but if you came in there so-called peaceful, oh, go ahead. Now if you study the man, it wasn't just about that. But Marcus Garvey, he's a prime example because he really wanted dark people in there. He didn't want anybody else. He was probably the only one who wanted black people only, when you study him, and not nobody my color, because he felt like that was, you didn't have enough melanin.
But your phenotype doesn't dictate your genotype.
And that's my point.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So
you can be dog, and somebody say, hey, what's up, brother? And you like, well, ¿qué pasó? No habla inglés. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't base it on this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to go to what you were saying, do you believe that we need more transracial parents? Or do you think we should have like a cutoff point? Or do you think anybody should be allowed to take care of our kids?
I think in the situation that we are in as African Americans, I feel like with, again, the disintegration of the home, we only 13.1% of the population, and about 10% of our folks, if not more, are incarcerated.
Or have been incarcerated.
So you already know what that means when it comes to employment.
Being extinct at a 10% rate.
Okay, all right. And again, I have to say it, if we keep going through this process of just having babies because you met somebody and you see what I'm saying? What can you do with 9 children as one person and you barely 22?
Action for government assistance.
So what's being modeled there? Have a baby, get on government assistance. You see what I'm saying?
Generation.
It's generation. That's right. So I'm all for families who want to care for our kids and give them a chance. But I believe that further education is warranted because you do need to know something about my culture. And just because you give me a good life, society is going to remind me that you are a black person.
Exactly.
I don't care if you understand what I'm saying?
I know.
They're going to remind me. And for some of our kids, that is a rude awakening. When they get out in society and society reminds them, well, you may have white adopted parents or Hispanic adopted parents, but you still the N-word.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow. So we can't be in denial about the past of African Americans. Everybody knows that struggle. Okay. We can't not have race conversations But we have to have these conversations such that they are not hostile, not bitter. If we're talking about improving the lives of people, let's just put the cards on the table and talk about how we can make this better. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier. So we do have a lot of parents who have adopted transracially. If we step up, we wouldn't have that problem. If we stop breeding, we wouldn't have that problem. But because we have some people who have stepped up and decided that I want to be parent to children, no matter their color, we can't knock them for that. Can't knock them.
Go ahead, Mike.
Preach. Preach. I just met you, Doc. I just met you. And I got all the love in the world for you because you preaching tonight. You preaching tonight. You telling it like it is. This is Dr. Annette Williams, everybody. She has created a game. Tell them right quick, rehash it right quick. What is the game about?
Okay. The name of the game is, well, there are two. One is Unpack That Stuff, which is a card game. And it is a card game of open-ended questions to get people to really talking about their feelings and affording transparency amongst the players. And the other game is Googly Moogly, which is a foster care / adoption game. And it addresses certain things that foster parents and foster adopt parents and foster adopt children experience in that foster care / adoption journey.
Where can they? I know we've already talked about it, but for the ones who are just now tuning in, rehash where they can find it or when they can find it.
The games will be available through the Game Crafter September 1st. So if they email me, I will just send them the link to the games directly, and they can order the games. They're print on demand. And I'm just looking forward to helping people and strengthening families, not only from the mental health perspective, but from the religious perspective as well.
I put on for everybody who's listening or watching us live on Facebook. I put Dr. Annette Williams' Gmail up on the screen. Please give her an email, send her an email if you're more interested about the games that will be correcting parenting. I'm sorry, I'm screwing it up.
That's all right.
Correcting parenting.
Helping to strengthen families.
Helping to strengthen families. If you want to strengthen your family, your neighbor's family, the village's family, your community's family, any family, email Dr. Annette Williams at Dr. Annette Williams, the number 5, Dr. Annette Williams 5 at gmail.com.
Remind us about your event also in November.
November 4th is the planned date for our transracial adoption workshop.
Okay.
And the facility is TBD.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. And I will send you that.
Perfect.
And like I said, we will be teaching families how to care for African American children's hair, skin, teaching them how to do protective styles. And then I will do the therapeutic piece, why it's important for our children to be maintained. Well, any child, but specifically in this case, African American children, because we don't want our kids walking around with these BBs on their head. And, that really affects their self-esteem.
True.
So we want to build up their self-esteem so that they can be successful.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now reminded me it's time to go.
No.
Oh.
I'm saying keep it going to 10:45.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So we don't have to rush.
I got to say this right quick before we go. If you want an example of what you can do other than march or fight, this is what we need right here. She was telling us earlier, the original foster care was Big Mama and them. We need Big Mamas back and not Little Mama.
And not Little Mama.
We don't need that. We need Big Mama and them to come back, because whether you recognize it or not, like she was saying, it took a lot to recognize, you need that hand in your life.
That's right.
I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing to make sure you have these hands in your life. You have somewhere to stay, you have somewhere to eat, and it's all out the kindness of my heart. I don't want nothing in return. I just want you to be successful.
That's right. That's right.
And we need what you were saying to me, and if it's not to you, then you need to go to her because something mentally is off. What you were saying is defining the start of this. We were talking about this earlier, the conversations. You know, but what you're doing right now is defining it. As black men and women, as black families, if you can't have a kid and you want a child, and I'm not saying these kids or these children are pieces of property, but if you have the ability to help, we need to step up as a people and do that.
That's right.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
We need to step up and do that, so they don't have to be someone being fostered by the system. Because like she said, everybody's not. Well, I said a few of these people are kind of off and they use money, but like she said, everybody's not about that.
Yeah.
But we need more people who are not about that, that genuinely care. You know, and if you're not part of this culture, get to know our culture, and if you genuinely care, make sure they're prepared for that society when they have that, like they say on the Dave Chappelle show, Paul Mooney, that nigga wake up call. And even if you have black kids, you got to make sure they're prepared for that.
That's right.
You know, it's just not for transracial or mixed households or whatever. You got to let your child know, hey, due to the color of your skin, due to the kinkiness of your hair, due to the fullness of your lips, due to the way that you talk, your jargon, your lingo, you know, whatever linguistics you subscribe to, you're not going to be liked.
That's right.
Jealousy, you know what I'm saying, mostly. But you're just not going to be liked. So we got to prepare our kids for this, man. And we got to do it every single day. We got to stay off these things. 37 minutes a day we spend with each other.
That's it.
I'm guilty. Ooh, I'm guilty.
We had that conversation earlier.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty because we have so much work to do.
Yeah.
And I get fussed at all the time, but I'm just like, if I put this phone down, when I get to that office tomorrow, I'm gonna have 1,000 things to do instead of 100.
Exactly.
So it's hard for me. I don't know what these mothers, these babies that are raising babies, excuse is.
Yeah.
But that's my excuse. I don't know what to do. I'm like, if I put this phone down, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So,
But see, it goes back to what I was saying earlier is, and one of your questions was about me and my upbringing.
Yes.
And so I'm going to say this, and I by no means am bragging about this. I'm just saying that this is the way that it was. So I grew up with both my parents in the house. And my parents were married almost 50 years when my dad passed away.
Brag for real. Brag about
You know what I'm
that.
saying? And my dad was a tumor virologist. He was a researcher for MD Anderson Hospital. My mom was an educator for 38 years, and then she retired. And so this is what we got. But let me take it back.
Okay.
Neither of my grandparents graduated from high school, but they wanted their children to graduate from high school. So those days work jobs, I'm talking about the maid jobs and all of that stuff, and taking crap from people, they use that little money to send their kids to college so they can get a college education. So I'm a second generation college graduate. My parents, from the very beginning, you either going to college or you going to the military, but you would not stay around here and do nothing. So we all knew that after high school, that was something greater. We have so many parents who are jealous of their children and won't even give their children an opportunity to improve their lives because I'm afraid you're going to get ahead of me. Or they intervene with someone who comes and says, let me help your child because I see something in them. Nobody did it for me. Okay, but you should want this for your child.
man,
Want better.
Yeah, you should want better.
man.
Because when your child rises, you rise too.
Yeah.
That's a reflection of good
I'm
parenting.
about to throw something at you.
Just don't hit my good eye. Okay? Don't hit my good eye. But I see it all the time. And I've had women come in my office half dressed, and you got your son with you. And you want to know why your son is calling you the B word or whatever. Because that's how you're presenting yourself in front of your son. And what your son is saying is, Mom, I'm embarrassed because you're dressing like everybody else. I want a mother. I don't want you looking like somebody
I can't
else.
hold it in no more. Hold on. I can't hold it in no more. Hold on.
That's deep what you're saying. You say he wants a mother.
He wants a mother.
Nobody. That's all the child wants is a mother.
That's it.
But you walking in like a streetwalker. You know. And that's deep. Keep going. I'm sorry. I heard.
That's all right. That's all
I
right.
heard what
But
you said. That all they want is a mother.
It's so true though. Like on how they dress. Like I used to coach football, little league football. 7, 8, 9-year-olds, and we got games every Saturday morning. And these women come into the game like they just left the club.
Because they're coming to try to catch the coach.
Oh yeah.
And you don't even care that your son is on this team, and he don't want people talking about his mama while he's on the field trying to do his thing. That's so selfish. It's so selfish. So there's a lot of healing that needs to take place in our community. There's a lot of education that needs to take place. I'm always telling, because I used to be a college professor, but I'm always talking about how we can go to college for free. We're not even having conversations about what do you want to be. Okay, so when you get in the 8th grade, you need to start taking your science classes, and you need to do this and you need to do that. But instead, just take something and get out.
Man.
So we have to push our children to greatness. We have to deny ourselves because they may be the ones that have to take care of us. And how are you going to take care of me if you a stick-up dude or you running and robbing Walmart or running into CVS and snatch and grab? How are you going to take care of me with that? So it requires a lot of denying self. And I'll share this just to be transparent. My husband and I divorced. Well, we divorced many years ago. And when we divorced, I had 3 children. We had 3 children. I knew then that I had to deny myself to give them an opportunity to be something great. There was no clubbing. There was no having men in front of my children. There was none of that. And to this day, my kids will tell you, you see our mom in no shorts. Something, my mom at a club. My mom ain't going to a club. You know what I'm saying? What's there? And now, my oldest child, he's a registered nurse. My middle child is a 1st grade teacher. My baby girl graduated from PV last year, and she has a salon. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And I'm still pushing them. My baby, you want to be a lawyer? You can be a half-fixing lawyer. Go to school. Go take that LSAT. Yes. My middle daughter, I told you you were an educator. Stop messing around and go on and do. Because I want them to be great. I want them to be better than me. So, again, we have to deny ourselves and stop acting like we're in competition with one another. I can learn something from you by asking, and you're going to help me prove my game. And in return, I got something maybe that you can use, and I can help you vice versa. But what do? We want to keep everything to ourselves because we're afraid that somebody is going to be great, and that's going to leave us behind.
And I hate to bring this up because this is a little off subject, but it's all the way around the spectrum.
All the way.
Nobody wants. People will sit right next to you and call themselves friend and bro, and sis, and have all the knowledge you need to be successful, and hold it in instead of.
Let's go back to what we were talking about earlier.
Instead of spreading the wealth, like it's supposed to, because you might grasp the concept better than me and become better than I, and make more money than I. It's sickening to me.
It is.
And me and Jay talked about it earlier. We're not about that here in this studio, in this office, in these suites. It's all about spreading the wealth. If I know something, I might not grasp it. I'm admittedly not good with not technology, but the connectivity of a computer. And I'm not tech savvy in that manner. So I need somebody to come in and teach me. But do you know I've had people around me that it's not gonna benefit me. So I'm not gonna. I've had people around me like that, and it's sickening. It's sickening. Help me, man. We could own the world just if we help each other.
That's true.
Just help each other. I get so tired of seeing. Don't nobody take this offensively. I get so tired of seeing other races. They could possibly live 10 deep in one home. In one $300,000 home, it might be 10 people up in there. 10. Let's say 5 men, 5 families. Let's put it like that. Let's say 5 families in one $300,000 home, All of them get up and go to work. All 5 men get up and go to work every day, and you have 5 incomes coming in. We're not even talking about if the women are working, if the wives are working. They all put the money in the same pot until one at a time. All right, homeboy.
That's it. That's it. That's
we
it.
got you $1 million.
Yeah.
You got $1 million or 500,000 or whatever. You can go buy your own home, start your own business. All right, now it's your turn, Jay.
Mhm.
That's what we need in our communities, but we so I don't know what we are.
Selfish.
Yeah, we selfish.
And we are consumers and not entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And I listened to conversations. I was listening to a conversation not too long ago, and these girls were talking about James Avery and how James Avery is the thing when it comes to charms and all that stuff. So you got about $1,300 worth of charms on your wrist.
Woo!
You could have taken that $1,300 and went and got you an associate's degree at HCC. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
We living above and beyond our means. We're living off credit. You should have at least 6 months worth of savings in case you hit hard times. You understand? But we got it all wrong. But I know that in large part, that has a lot to do with the suffrage, the past.
Yeah.
But that's not what makes you a person. Have some experiences. Don't spend your whole life paying a house note. Travel somewhere so you can learn the real history of where, different cultures and things like
Act
that.
of unity.
Yeah.
Oh, Sister Vicky. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I just saw.
All right. Yeah. So, we have to, as I said, we push. And I've always took my kids, even when their dad and I, weren't together and everything. I always made it a point. Spring break and summer, we were going somewhere. They had passports before they were 10. We were doing that kind of thing. And I still encourage that with them to this day. And so let me tell you something else about us. So they went to school, they went to elementary school and told the teacher, my mama took us to the Bahamas. The teacher had the audacity to call me, to ask me if I did that.
Wow.
Because she thought my children were lying.
What?
And then she said, well, I guess we're going to have to start eating hamburger meat and not steak so we can do something like that in our family.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you heard me.
Wow.
You heard me.
That's something from a place of hate
Very much so.
and jealousy.
But you think because these little kids over here at Betsy Ross School on Jensen Drive,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that they couldn't do anything beyond sitting at home all summer?
Our own people.
Our own people.
Have mercy.
So we have to do better. We have to not be afraid and venture out. See the world so you can learn something about cultures. Experience different things. Go climb Kilimanjaro or whatever. Go do something. And the world is bigger than just your neighborhood. It's bigger than your neighborhood. I tell you, when you have those enlightening moments, it will change your mindset about a lot of things.
One more thing, and we have to start winding down. We have 11 more minutes left in this show. I'm extending it because this is 5.
Yes.
This is 5, man. I couldn't just cut it off tonight. About getting out of your community, I salute my parents. I grew up in a 2-parent home too. Thank God. Lost my dad this past August. But I credit them for allowing me, and I think this is another problem with society, allowing me to see the other side of the tracks.
Yes.
Because ignorance sets in when you only see one side of the tracks. And that's a large problem with society today. A lot of people never cross and see. They only hear, well, if you go over there, that's where them white folks is. Well, if you go over there, that's where the black folks is, and you don't belong there, and you don't. Man, look, this is a free world.
It is.
It's full of experiences. It's full of all kinds of good people.
It is.
And if you only stay stuck in what you've been taught, you're gonna stay stuck. I mean, I can't say nothing else about that. So I credit my parents for that. I didn't understand it at the time, of course. So I was me and Jay talked about it earlier. I was a rebellious kid. They took me out of Fifth Ward, brought me out here. I ended up graduating from Klein Oak High School, a predominantly white school. But at first, it was straight culture shock. I was like, man, what are you doing to me? Well, out here with all these white folks. But I knew how to fit in, but I kept running back to the hood, kept running. I ended up getting in a lot of trouble. We talked about it off camera, but even though I went back and forth, I ended up getting in trouble. Now that I'm 53, it's all coming. It's all there now. It's like, oh, that's what Papa's doing. I get it now. Yeah. Because I still have some homeboys in the hood stuck.
Sometimes you can be consistently stuck. You might be consistent, but you can be consistently stuck. You know? I didn't have a 2-parent household, but my parents did the same thing. I think my first years in Klein, I went to like Roth Elementary, and long story short, they used to call me nigga in there.
What?
Oh yeah, they used to leave answer machines on my messages on my answer machine. Y'all don't nobody remember those, but they used to leave messages on my answer machine. When we used to go to the pool, they used to write nigger in red, like no nigger allowed. And so I was in there thinking like, wow. When I found out what it meant, because I was always a reader at a young age, so I would read MLK's biography, and I would read Malcolm, Garvey, Langston Hughes. I can't remember my other brother's name who I like, who did poetry, part of the NOI, but I would read it and I found out what that word was. So I beat up everybody who called me that name. They kicked me out the district. And this was in like second, third grade, because that's when I left Klein. I mean, I would have had cases if I was older, because I was really hurt, because I thought they was my friends. Like I was like, yo, wait, what's up, nigga? Like, what's up, dog? You good? You know, I'm thinking like they being cool with me, but then, and this is back in like the early '90s. This is like, you know, racist. It wasn't like now when people say it's a term of endearment. They was saying this like, what's up, monkey nigga? I'm like, whoa, what's up? You know, but found out what it meant, beat them all up. Then I went to Aldine. McGrill, Nimitz. That's where I was at after that, and my own people was calling me nigga. That's why I don't say the N word, because I've heard it on both. Like you said, I was on both sides of the tracks. So to this day, I don't say that. And I tell people like, it's like calling me a fool. Biblically speaking, that was never good. When the elders, when the OGs called you a fool, they wasn't smiling. It wasn't like, hey, what's up, fool? It was like,
job turkey.
Yeah. It was like, you a fool, man. I was like, that hurt. I was like, dang, what'd I do? So, you know, I'm glad my parents did the same thing, man. I got to see how the white folks are, and I got to see how our people are. And I had to go over there and say, man, why you don't say that? Why you get so mad when I call you that? I said, man, you know where I just came from?
You just brought up something that I want to speak to quickly, which is co-parenting and parallel parenting. And so, you know, although everybody can't stay together, right? But that doesn't mean we have to act a fool with each other. So when we co-parent, that means we're going to come together. We're going to have some discussions about what's best for our children. That's co-parenting. But I see a lot of parallel parenting. I text you and I tell you what's going on. I text you to tell you what time I'm going to meet you at the pickup spot. I text you when your child support is late or whatever. What is that? I'll tell you what it is. Then our kids see us as adults not being able to problem solve. And so they go through life not being able to problem solve because mom and daddy, you ought to even talk to each other.
I never got that either with the divorce. When my parents got divorced, I'm like, why didn't y'all just stay together? We were so poor. I'm not saying nobody out there was poorer than us. But I remember when they was together, we had money. You know, we not like we was millionaires, but we had food in the house, the lights stayed on, we had toys to play with. When they broke up, I was like, wait, hold on, what we gonna eat tonight? I was like, wait. Why did y'all break up then? Like, do y'all even care about us? That's a whole nother topic. But you're right. And the only time they would communicate, and this is before text messaging, is, hey, meet me at the Kroger's. I got the boys ready. Clear. There you go. So you're right. We need a lot more. Like you said, I don't know why they got divorced. Maybe it's not important. I still try to pry that out of my mom now. Maybe it's not important, whatever. Because I'll be like, I know I make mistakes in relationships. I need to know what I'm doing wrong. What did you do? So I don't make these same mistakes.
Right. Same avenue.
Yeah. I'm not, my dad's not here to talk to him, but he would tell me while he was here, like, David, you don't talk to a woman a certain way. It's a woman. If you really love them, you're not going to do certain things. So he gave me game, even though sometimes I'm listening to Snoop and them, trying to be cool, which really wasn't cool. But long story short, you're right. I think more parents need to co-parent. And like, hey, so your child, he did this today. The school said this today. He was over here at the house. He ain't been doing nothing. So I'm thinking about doing this. Do you just want to come?
Yeah.
Just so we can all hang. I know you probably got, something like that.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, man. We need more co-parenting when you say that.
When my son grew up taller than I did, because one summer I was looking down, at the end of the summer I was looking up. I was going to shoot him when it came to discipline, right?
Yeah.
I picked up the phone. I called and said, "Hey, I can't. You're gonna have to fix this." And he was there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta let him, despite what transpired between us. I still want you to do your job as a father and do it to the best of your ability. And he beat his butt. Straighten that mess out.
Yes.
But we get in our feelings. Don't be touching my child. Don't be,
I get that one.
Beat mine.
So we are gonna have a part 2, Sister Annette. You coming back?
Of course.
Because I got a whole nother list of questions after talking to you. Before we go, I want everybody to get in what they need to get in. Ladies first. What do you want to tell them about your event, your services, or what it is you do?
I just want to thank you guys for having me. I've enjoyed myself. The next time they'll have some hog maw, black eyed peas, cornbread, candy yams out in the lobby.
I dig it. I'll make sure to cook something up for you next time.
No, I really appreciate the time, and I hope that someone is moved by tonight's discussion, and that they would just do some introspection and think about, what role am I playing in dysfunction? And how can I straighten that up and turn dysfunction into function? So
I dig that.
Yeah.
Brother Jay, what you got to say?
Man, first and foremost, man, I appreciate you having me on the show. Bro.
Oh, man, it's
real,
all good.
Definitely, man.
It's all good.
This was a great episode. It was definitely nice meeting you.
Likewise.
Man, y'all follow me on Facebook, Jay Reckless. Follow me on Instagram, Reckless Talk 718. Catch me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, on the Reckless Talk podcast. So you just mentioned an event. I got a big event coming up on August 26th, the Midwest Invasion. Y'all come check it out at the Tiki Hut, the Tiki Bar on Nassau Parkway in New Webster, Texas, August 26th. We got artists coming from Illinois, teaming up with artists out here in Houston. It's going to be a major event. Y'all check that out. Appreciate everybody that's following and supporting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
is everything?
Yeah,
okay.
Everything.
You into that just real smooth. Thank you for All right. I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate Sister Annette, Dr. Annette, for coming out. I appreciate you sticking around with me. Mal, thanks for having me on the station. I hope someone heard something that resonates, man. Something that you digested in.
We have one comment on the screen, and then another one is telling you about your show, sir.
Oh, thanks for the awesome content. Y'all have. Oh man, I appreciate it. DJ Spice Night,
all the way from Washington.
From Washington.
And then Ashley says,
Malcolm. Oh, she said your whole full government. Malcolm Lewis Jackson. Oh yes, every time I get on Facebook at night, I see lives pop up, and I love it. So she must be related to you or something.
No, she's a Facebook friend.
Oh, okay. Cool. I appreciate you tuning in, Sister Ashley, Sister Chris. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And whatever you heard tonight, take it back to your house, put it in the fridge, let it sit there, and when you need it, take it out, drink it, eat it, chop, whatever you need to do, put it in little pills and eat it so we can evolve as people. I'm not just having these shows for fun. I see 6 people on here. So if at least 2 people I'd rather the whole 6, but at least 2 people just take what you heard from any of us. I don't want no props. I'm sure they don't either. And just use it in your life, man, so you evolve as a person. Because that's the ultimate prize for me, just knowing that I had a part to play in it.
Yeah.
You know, like either one of, or you was listening to the show and you heard something and we had a part to play in it. So take what you said, take what we said, digest it, use it, evolve as a person. Don't be the same person you are this minute, the next minute. Use your time wisely. Tune in next Tuesday. I'm gonna have both of them back on the show. I'll have some yams ready next time to eat.
Some Jiffy cornbread.
Some Jiffy corn. I'm gonna make you some homemade cornbread.
Yes.
Come on here, girl. You always come in at the end. Oh, don't make me cry on TV. Thank you. I love you too. Y'all tune in. Oh, what I do deserve that? Y'all. You told her to say that? Y'all, I don't lost my
You said y'all
Y'all
tune in.
yeah, tune in.
You got all mushy. You saw that?
No, y'all tune in on Tuesday, 8:30 to 10:30. Next Tuesday, man. Y'all have a good night. Malcolm, go ahead and tell them what's coming up next.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight to the R.A.U.L.I show. R.A.U.L.I stands for Rebooting and Uniting Lost Energy. The star of the show is Mr. R.A.U.L.I. Tonight we had Dr. Annette Williams all the way to your far left, and in the middle we had Mr. J. Reckless. Y'all make sure you go and follow their movements as well. Every week, if you love deep conversations such as tonight, tune in every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30. And you'll find another deep conversation. I mean, this man doesn't miss. I mean, we've had all kinds of deep conversations, and they only get better and better and better. And yes. Before somebody asked me, I thought you said 10:30. Oh, well, when shows are fire, I own the place, so I let it run. I let it keep going on. I don't know how TV shows do that. The miniseries, you get people on the edge of the seat, and then you cut it off. I can't do it. I can't do it. I let it go as long as I can. I do have to get home and get back up here early in the morning. So it is time that we say goodnight to the R.A.U.L.I show. Dr. Annette Williams, Mr. J. Reckless, and Real Talk 100 Radio. But y'all keep it locked to Real Talk 100 Radio. We play a lot of 90s and 2000s R&B and hip hop during the day. We play a lot of soul music, a lot of Southern soul music for you old heads. And we play a lot of that old ratchety underground and independent music late at night. So that's probably what you're going to hear right now. If you tune in, just go to our Facebook page and click that link in our bio. I have our YouTube link up on Instagram, so don't go there and click a link unless you want to watch the replay of the show. Go to our Facebook page or my personal page, Malcolm Lewis Jackson. Click that link in our bio and jam the rest of the night. This has been the R.A.U.L.I Radio Show. We'll see y'all very, very soon. Good night, everybody.
Oh, man.